Hey, we did it, everybody.
Hi. How's it going, y'all? Welcome
Hi, everybody.
back.
Sorry for
Hello,
the
hello.
delay. We're just
Thank you for your patience, everybody.
But hey, congrats on the move.
Yeah, Tracy just
Yay!
moved.
I just moved. You can see my new background. Sorry, everybody. We're loud.
Hang on, time out. Everybody's peeking right now.
Okay, I brought us down. Are we less peaky?
Do we sound peaky still? Hello, hello.
Hi, everybody. Hi.
Check 1 2.
Hello, everybody. Do we
Testing.
sound loud?
Oh, still a bit. Here, let me actually do this. Let's see if I do this. I don't know why.
Yeah, it might be OBS. You could bring OBS down in OBS.
That's what I was doing. I didn't want to bring y'all down too much because then I always hear like, I can't hear everybody.
Yeah, especially when I get into my quiet
Maybe
voice.
that's better.
I know, same.
Also, when I'm talking like Dakota, I'm way down here, and that means my register is slower.
And Ava talks like this, so yes.
So during the intro,
giving a test. How's it going, chat?
Test.
So I'll make sure we're not peeking because I lean in and I'm just like up and I'm like fucking swallowing the microphone.
Yeah, I did bring us down quite a bit, so I brought our gain down a lot.
Much better. Slowly blowing his mic.
Still?
I mean, which way?
Still?
Sounds fine to me. Mathis is still a bit loud.
I'll take Mathis and Tracy down a tad. Okay, maybe that's better balanced.
Hopefully. Hello, hello. Testing 1 2.
Hi, everybody. Hi. Hopefully we sound better.
Perfect.
Better,
all
perfect,
good
all
now.
good. Okay, thank you,
Yay!
thank
I'm
you.
here to hear
Thank
perfection from chat.
That's all we need. Hey, Tracy, congratulations on the move.
Thank you. Thanks. I was having some issues with my PC, so I'm now streaming from my laptop. And I wanted to get my good mic and camera. I'm like, I have standards, so I was like,
And honestly, you are rocking that like furry coat today. So if we couldn't see it in its full glory, I would have been so sad.
Look today, so yeah.
And we got a little preview of the Ava emote on the way, which is
Yeah.
awesome.
Yay! Yes, I'm hoping it'll come soon. So then,
Is that other art finished? I know you showed it in Discord, but I don't know
yes,
if
it is finished.
Okay.
Yes. Oh my gosh, everybody! I've been going ham on the art.
It's been See, all the Ava art just is a good sign. It just means you're deep into the Ava mentality lately. So
if you guys support the stream, all the money that I make for the stream goes right back into
it just goes into art.
I love commissioning artists.
Well, we do appreciate you. We saw everybody,
Yeah.
all of those subs and stuff while you were waiting. We appreciate you so much for those hype trains today.
Yeah, please, guys. Like speaking of, it's a great tangent. You can support us in a number of ways. One of the ways you can do so, and a free way to do it, is obviously letting people know about this show, telling them about the Twitch stream. Everything we make here in terms of subs and bits all go directly to this show alone, SOS Season 3. So it's because of you guys we're able to pay our cast and get art and all that good stuff. On top of that, if you guys just want to participate, there is a Discord that is free to join. The Discord itself it's pretty much entirely all the rooms are open, barring a couple that are for very specific Patreon tiers, like the Blood Room is for patrons only. And the Text RP is to participate patrons only, but anybody who's in the Discord can go read the events of whatever Text RP is happening. Beyond that, all the other rooms with stories and theories and all that stuff are completely open to discuss, and that's where Tracy dropped her picture.
Hey,
Tracy, drop if you don't mind, you should drop it in the SOS room one more time for the new people jumping in. I love this picture. It's when you messaged me and you're like, all right, I have another art piece coming. I'm like, dang, she's got another one coming.
I really wasn't sure. Like it's fine. Like I went through that, but I wasn't sure what the shadow should have looked like. So I gave
you, I think, something.
Yeah, I had my interpretation of it. But I do think it looks really cool. So I was like, it just looks kind of badass.
Show everybody.
It is badass, dude. It is badass. It's great art. She'll be popping that up there in a second. Jump into the Discord so you can see it for yourself. And other ways to support us are your usuals of actually just going to patreon.com/podbynight. Supporting us there supports all of our efforts here on the Twitch channel, all of our podcasts that go out, pays all of the wide range of casts that we've slowly accumulated and collected over the years, like little treasure pieces. And it allows us to do things. I was watching in the Discord, people, I think 1 or 2 people are like catching up on the Cracked Crown and all that stuff, and they went through Desperate Measures recently, which is one of, that 4-episode miniseries, and people love Candy Man. No, Desperate Measures is the human one.
That's
people
the
love your little
one.
nerdy girl. Yeah, the nerdy girl that you played that had.
Yeah, and Bub's character got shot in that one too.
Shit.
Yeah, that was a tragic show. Very tragic.
4 episodes of pure tragedy.
Yeah,
like
it was.
Well, episode 1 was really goofy, and people were like, oh man, this is really silly.
Yeah, they
and
called us the Scooby Gang, and then by the end they were like, damn.
Yeah. Yeah, it didn't end up being Scooby Gang for
No,
very
it
long
did
in
not.
that show.
It did not at all. And I'll say we had a question in chat about Bub, so just an update on Bub and where Bub's at. We were hoping he would be back this week, but Bub went and checked in with his doctor because that is what responsible adults do. And his doctor kind of gave him some rough outlines of how he can spend his time sitting at his desk, right? So it's really important to understand that, like, sitting at a desk can be very tiresome on a body. And so Bub
especially a healing body.
Especially a healing body. So Bub has a certain amount of time he is allowed to sit at his desk, and so he's got to disseminate that across both what he does and both his time with us. So we gave him an extra week to kind of sort that, get his body where he kind of can, and he hopefully will be kind of returning over the next couple weeks. We're actually expecting him maybe next week for the first time back on one of the Pod by Night shows, and I believe it's going to be this one. So.
Yeah, I sat down with Bub a couple days ago. The hope was he would be here today. Obviously, we talked about what it would look like if he was, but yeah, take all the time he needs. Healing is most important. He will be here when the time is right, and you will see everything he's been up to when we get together and we do a little bit of a solo beginner opener to an episode.
But it is,
and I'm sure it will drive people
good.
insane.
I was about to say, it's all good. Bub's
fine.
doing great. He's just he's taking his pace as slow as he needs to take it so he can be back to us in full capacity.
Yeah. As far as like if a standing desk would work better for him, I don't know. Bub's
I was about to say,
doing
that
it
sounds like you
way.
should go hit Bub's Discord. I bet he can tell you all about it there. He's been giving great updates.
So enjoy today, as it may be the last girls episode for a little bit. I don't know. I don't want to say forever because it's probably not forever, but it might be the last girls episode for a little while. And if you didn't watch the one-offs, please do, because they both matter an extreme amount to the story. And where we're picking up today is right where
I did.
You what?
I watched the Dakota one. So.
Oh, did you? Did you spoil yourself?
Yeah. that ending.
That one shot did not go in the way I was expecting it to go, but it went perfectly.
And actually, today we'll record the after shows for those two one shots. So those will be coming too. So Tracy and I, I'm sure, will have a lot to say. We haven't had a chance to talk about it together, so it's going to be a very exciting one shot or after show today.
Did you watch all of Tracy's one shot? Okay, cool. I know
you
were there for it, but I didn't know if you were up and down. I know you were there for the end part and you were losing your mind. But.
Yeah. I was backstage oh my fucking God.
Is there anything else we need to cover before we dive in? Because we're going to be picking up and it's going to be kind of heavy out the gate. So we gotta work our way in, man. It's going to be a little bit heavy immediately. So if there's anything else we need to cover and laugh about, do it now. I'm trying to think if there's.
That sounds a little.
Well, so a little peek behind the DM curtain. I don't plan conversations like this, so I don't know where this is going to go. I am going to let Bella just kind of embody my mind, and I'm just going to do what I always do with characters and let them speak through me. And what happens, man. And I know a few things, and but I don't know how the conversation is going to go because I don't even think you and I have talked about how Dakota would feel really seeing her. We've had
I was
very
trying to think,
vague
when was the
ideas.
Last time she was alone with Bella? It's
years ago.
Years
ago.
And she has held a bit of let's call it a grudge, maybe. There's a grudge.
But Bella's been underneath the influence of the shadow since the end of season 1 too. So the art looks great, by the way. Yeah, it's awesome.
I showed them the second version with the hand.
The second version. Yeah.
The hand reaching out.
Hand in there. I mean, whose hand could that be?
Oh my God, whose horrible green suit just made an appearance in Ava's beautiful art?
Okay, that being said, then I'm trying to think. I do feel like I'm missing something, but the typical stuff. If you guys are enjoying the show, because it's a special show that's in conjunction with Roll For It, if you want to watch the VODs or you miss it or you want to catch up, if you're a subscriber here on the channel, you can catch VODs instantaneously after they're done. You can go catch up on all of them here on Twitch. But if you want to, you don't want to subscribe or whatever, they are also for free over at youtube.com/rollforit, where the season's episodes will be uploaded alongside the first 2 seasons. So everything will be right there, nice and neat, like the trilogy of books that it kind of is. And you can just binge through. And I feel like every week we have people in the Discord who are talking about re-binging or binging for the first time. And they're just going nuts with the reveals. And it's just you have no idea. It's only going to get way more worse for you as you keep watching. All right. If that's everything, then I think I am good. Do anybody need to make a stain roll before we begin that I may have missed?
Not
No?
yet.
I already
Maybe
made
Refresh
after
every-
today's actions.
Refresh your willpowers as needed. Let's go through the basics.
Let's do that. Yes.
Oh, I gotta pop.
What's our hungers at?
Wherever you left it at last time.
I was at
essentially.
hunger. Yeah, I was at hunger 3 because of
Oh, yeah,
the Nelson thing.
Okay, I'm at hunger 2,
Yeah,
so I'm
so-
in a good spot.
Yeah, because you were at hunger 3 when we left off with the harpy showing up, correct?
yeah.
So that's technically where you'll be because
Yes,
everything else
correct.
occurred
In
beforehand.
prior, yeah.
Yeah.
back in time. Yep.
And that's it. And I
Got 'em
think it's
willpower.
good. You guys, well, how much experience do you guys all have?
Oh,
Shit.
I haven't been.
Have we been getting any?
Yeah, you
'Cause I
get. Well,
haven't-
yeah. The
Here,
rule
hang
that I
on.
usually roll with is like 1 a session, I think.
Hang on.
Okay, okay.
Let me. I can tell you. I have an Excel document
Yep.
for this.
I want you to make sure, like, that's also important as this is season 3. Like, if you've experienced points and there's things you want to spend them on,
I do.
you know, like,
Yeah,
Oh,
let me
it's
see
been
what I
Oblivion.
can't dig up for us.
yeah.
Can
And
I-
actually, there's something I forgot to tell you,
Can I do Oblivion?
Ava, because, well, yes, you already know that you can. You had access to Oblivion powers in the past.
I did.
You used them or no?
I did.
Do you remember which ones you used?
I have them on the old character sheet, which
All right,
I should
look
go
at
back
those,
and check.
because it would make sense that if you knew how to use them before, you would be able to use them with the shadow attached.
Okay.
The ones that you knew and were trained to use.
Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, look at the other
so-
character sheet.
I'll go back.
So
and
I'll tell you
check
this:
that.
I have not actually put in any for this season. So basically, this
So
is
this
episode 10.
you've
So
gained
we've had 9
up to this point.
9
Then you've gained 9
XP.
experience. Yeah, up to this point.
Okay, got it.
Unless you weren't in an episode.
Right. So like I
So-
missed one, so I actually have 8.
I've been in everyone. So.
Ava
Well, you
will
missed
have-
the solo episode with Dakota.
or
so-
yeah.
And I went so 2 for me because I also missed Ava's one shot. So I would have
Yep.
6, and Ava
Ava would have 8.
yeah.
7.
And Bub
Seven.
we'll talk
7.
about because he's a special case and I don't want him to fall super far behind and
Yeah.
he's been doing things off screen kind of thing.
Yeah. So
But so that's a chunky piece. Well, it depends. It's not super great. Out of curiosity, what are you trying? Do you have your eyes on anything in particular and do you want to keep it quiet? If you want to keep it quiet, then hold it till after the show.
I'll hold it till after the show.
That's fine.
I was about to say I
Yeah.
do have one, but it would actually be it would
I gotta
be
pull up the Chicago
an
by Night
easy
book.
buy. It would just be a specialty once Dakota starts karate.
Yeah, specialty is 3 experience no matter what it is. And
So
it's
that's
just you can
Pretty easy, and I don't think at this point I was looking at any new sheets or anything. It was
I would say if you want to, feel free to buy that right now. Like it
yeah, I
doesn't
might go ahead
you
and do it.
just have it there, just have the experience spent and we can just
Yep.
use it as though you just yeah.
I was looking at for a hot minute. I was eyeballing that 5th level of fortitude, but I think I'm gonna hold on that.
Okay.
Is the Oblivion stuff in Chicago by Night? Because that's the La Sombra book, or
Yes.
is it
Uh-huh.
in the regular?
No,
book?
it's in Chicago by Night. It's
Okay.
do you
Okay.
have that book?
I do have the PDF, of
And you
it.
can
I have
actually
to
search it in
pull
the roll
up.
22. It'll bring it up for
Yes,
you.
yes,
Oh,
yes.
oh,
yeah,
yes.
do that.
Yes, I'll do that.
Because yeah. And then when the player's handbook comes out, that'll be your
I
Yeah,
know,
I'll
I'll
make sure to grab
pre-ordered.
hold of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
make sure you pre-order it. I
pre-ordered
did
that
too,
shit.
because it's gonna have everything from all the books condensed
I
into one
know,
book,
it's
plus
amazing.
new rules, plus new
Yes.
blood sorcery, new rituals,
I
new
cannot wait.
disciplines.
Yep.
It's like it sounds like it sounds like it's gonna add quite a bit to the base VTM game, which is fantastic.
I'm hoping they're going to
Um,
release it in some digital way so we can have a
I'm sure they will.
track of it. So
And I'm honestly, like, I know I'm one of the very few, but the Hunter Splat book coming out, I'm excited for because I like the V5 Hunter. I love it a lot. So
in terms of total experience, I don't know. So I'm just going to start right now. I have 6, and I'm going to spend 3 and go ahead and buy the specialty. So that makes my second. Is that going to be athletics or brawl base? Brawl, probably.
for what?
The karate.
Yeah, I mean, technically, if you were like, if you took a specialty in grappling, it'd be like jujitsu. Would that be like
Well, I was about to say, so I
dexterity?
have a brawl grappling.
Yeah, typically it's
Already.
a base. The base roll is strength brawl. Sorry.
Right. And I
yeah.
have the specialty already in grappling. So if I'm going to take a secondary specialty, we want to put it in as karate, or do we want to do like defensive brawl? Or how do we want to?
I mean, I would just say put it in what's like a good, what did you say this karate place taught?
Oh, I
Didn't you pick?
I didn't.
Oh,
I just
okay,
kind of said it
cool.
was like a general karate house, like a general dojo. So
Yeah.
they might teach some specialties. And my hope is that if we end up going with this touchstone in the sensei, then
Yeah.
he could teach Dakota more than just karate.
Yeah. So for now, then I just say put it as down as just like karate.
Okay.
And we can apply as it seems to fit for
Yep,
now.
for now. And then we can
So-
get more specific.
Mathis, I think I previously had Oblivion Sight.
Okay.
Um,
Is that all you had?
that's all I had because I only had the one dot.
And then you would have that.
Okay.
Yeah. You would. Okay. Let me
That's-
rephrase that.
What I would
You
like.
have access to it,
I want it.
and you would need to spend because it would because the shadow is attached to you. It would be considered in clan. It would be a brand new skill in clan. Is it 10? No, it's 7. 7 for the first dot in a skill of yours. How much? So you have.
So
8?
I have 7. So I would just spend it all.
Yeah, because you got Oblivion for free last time. You didn't have to spend anything to get it. This time, the shadow merely gives you access to it. You would need to spend the experience to kind of have it.
Okay, got it. Okay.
Sick.
Is that all the experience you had total? No, you had none carryover from season 2?
I did have some carryover,
Okay,
actually.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was gonna say
so
I
actually,
did
that was
not.
cool.
Mine was
Okay.
ended up being spent, I think, on those politics dots we ended up buying based on my time with Cretius.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Saito bar has 15 in it already, I guess. So thank you guys.
Woo!
Or maybe it's
Thank
around
you.
there. I can't see it.
Thank you.
'Cause I
That is
have. You're gonna
correct.
keep an eye on that because I have that whole screen blocked. I don't
Here,
like
let
to
me
look
see
at
what
it
I
while
can.
I'm
Yes, I promise you, when that bar fills, you'll know it.
DMing. I love it. Okay.
Oh, I'm nervous.
I think that's
now. Is
everything.
anybody else
I know.
sweating?
I know.
Are you
I am.
sweating?
I'm
I
wearing
am a
flannel
little-
today. I'm hot now.
Yeah.
Ava, out of curiosity, do you remember specifically? I think I do, but I'm just going to double check with you. The 2 things that were being put in front of the Bella's doors. It was the Lasombra crown, and it was the Toreador rose. Right, one on each door. Remember how you were going to visit Bella for the first time? It's when you got the shadow. There was some construction being done to the double doors on the outside, and something was being done on the outside. I believe. If you don't remember, that's fine.
I don't remember.
I
but
believe.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe it was the Lasombra crown and the Toreador rose.
Rose. Okay.
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 That's fine. In clan is 5. Okay, it's 5 XP to buy your
Yes,
first
correct.
dot. in
It's
something.
5.
I thought it
It's
was
5.
just.
If it's
I
in
thought for some
clan.
reason the first dot in anything was 7, and then it was 5.
Nope,
Yeah,
it's
that
5 across the
doesn't
board.
make
It's
any
just
sense.
7 if it's out of clan for you across the board.
Okay, cool. All right then, Dakota, are you ready?
I don't know, Mathis, are you ready?
I'm not going to be here in a minute. It'll be Bella, not me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go take a nap in my brain. All right then, without further ado, let's rein things in. Let's set the scene and see where we left Dakota off. We begin again with the ding and the rolling doors of a fancy elevator at the top of a familiar building you all know now as the Ivory Tower. The outside city's lights sparkle in through a large window on your left-hand side as the double white doors sit before you. While last time Ava was here, she saw painting tape and refinishing construction and touch-ups going on. Here, at this particular point in time, they are mostly done. And by that, I mean, around each symbol is still a square of blue painting tape. And the doors themselves look like they might need one more, like, go over with like a glisten or like a, whatever you call paint. But that, not paint, thing you put over paint.
Like the sealant?
Sealant, yeah. It
yeah.
looks like it needs like those last finishing touches. You can tell I don't do manual labor. For Dakota, before I just say what you see, is Dakota very in her head? As the doors roll open and you see a very familiar personal security 2 set of guards sitting on the outside of that double doors, where in Dakota's head is she? The camera would swing to the doors, and as it rolled open, we'd see the slow reveal of Dakota as we're slowly zooming in. And as the doors finish opening and the elevator settles, we can see your face. What do you look like at the moment, and what are the thoughts going on in your mind?
Well, Dakota likes to keep a tough exterior, so I imagine it still is just a tough,
Stoic.
uncracked exterior. On the inside, it probably looks like somebody pulling the last block of a Jenga tower. Before it
Would you
comes
say she's
crumbling
very-
down. I'd say
Love
she's
that.
it's like, tonight she's already been faced with the realization of the loss of her childhood, right? And the things that she didn't get. But then also she's been called in by the one person who ever treated her like a child.
Yeah.
And so it's a bit, there's a lot of emotions going on. But the one thing that's keeping that Jenga block from like sliding loose is that Dakota has a plan.
So the question I
gift
have
basket
then,
and all of it was for a very specific purpose, and she knew that this moment was coming. So she's holding it together, but barely.
so then my question is, are you very aware of your surroundings at the moment? Like, you can see things, but in a disassociated state, as I'm sure we all know, while you can navigate the world, the details seem to bounce off of you.
Yeah, I would say she's a bit tunnel vision right now till this is all done.
And I would like a wits awareness check at a whatever you roll -1 success.
Ooh.
Just because you're in your own head right now.
I sure am. I can do a -1. Look at me go. A 2.
2 successes. You do notice as you walk by, as the doors swing open before you take in a familiar looking room, what those 2 symbols on the doors are. They blend in with a lot of the door. They're not quite detailed enough yet. But on the right-hand side, as that door swings open to the corner of your eye, you see a very familiar corridor rose. And on the left-hand door, as it swings open, I don't know if you would know this symbol.
I
Can I
do
get from
have
you?
a specialty in kindred symbology based on the iconography thing. Like Dakota
That would
actually
definitely
knows
assist
that.
your role.
Okay.
Let me look at something real quick. Come here, Detective Frank. I'm using your character sheet, but not
That's
because
fine.
I need it.
You've learned to, so writings on the wall. You've learned to look for marks that other kindred have left behind. Gain 3 dice on a relevant streetwise roll when looking for information. So I leave that up to you to call it, but you get the idea.
Here's what I'm going to say. I think that'll work because at the moment, La Sombra, while accepted, are still kind of all over the place. They're
Right.
on the streets, they're across. So I would say it would require an intelligence streetwise check.
Okay.
The specialty would apply, but I have, because it's a streetwise and not a politics check, the difficulty is going to be higher than a politics check would.
Do you want me to add the 3 dice as usual?
Yeah, you're going to use the rules as written.
Okay.
You're going to add the 3 dice, and I will tell you if you succeed or fail.
I got a 4.
With a 4, I will say you ever so barely scrape by with a success. And it takes a minute, and perhaps you even walk by it before, and you look at it and you take it in, and initially it just looks like a crown to you. But as the image kind of almost fades from your memory, it does look a little familiar, and you do recognize it as the La Sombra clan symbol.
Oh.
For those who are unfamiliar, the La Sombra clan symbol is a crown with that like kind of curved top and a cross at the top. I'll grab a symbol for you so you can take a peek.
This is carved into the like.
Yeah, it's part of the door, just like the rose one.
Oh, it's like
just
built
like
into the architecture of the door,
Yes.
not like somebody carved it in with like a knife. Okay.
Right. Yeah. No. It's all part of the artwork and some redo of some of this stuff. So the La Sombra. Yep, this is it right here, I think. Yep, there it is. So that's the La Sombra clan symbol.
Yeah.
That's what you see on the door.
The crown. Yep.
Yep, just
okay,
the crown.
Interesting. That wasn't there before.
No. This is, and like I said, it's there's painter's tape over it, like parts of it still. It's new doors. They're just brand new wooden doors.
Okay.
And as you swing in, and you are greeted with a familiar looking room that you have not been in alone in quite some time, with a large glass wall that overlooks the city of Chicago all the way across a large open marble floor, with extravagant paintings hanging on your left and your right. A single security guard that leaves the moment you enter, with the echoed clack of their dress shoes across this marble floor, as this room itself is not playing music nor conversation. As you walk in, you can see the little hallway off to your left where you would go off and try on new clothes that Bella bought for you, or new ones that Ava got for you that you would bring with you. A place you haven't been into since you were bloodbound to Bella. And on the right-hand side, a fireplace that continues to crackle, giving an orange glow. And 2 seats sat just across from each other at an angle that bring back many a memory of story time and reading and nights of deep conversation. But all of that gets snapped away from you in an instant when you hear a voice that you haven't heard speak to you in a long time. On the other side of her large wooden desk standing and looking at you in a typical black gown, is Bella. Now she looks to you. The words that fall from her lips are, "Hello there, pup."
Hi.
And she
I eke
smiles.
out.
Sure. And as you say hi, the door behind you shuts from the last security guard leaving, though very likely posted just outside. But Bella doesn't make a gesture. She doesn't tell you where to go. She gives you a wits insight.
Okay, I was also gonna say, I know to look for the moving shadow now. Is
Yep.
hers normal?
And we'll give that's a separate.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll get that roll in a second.
Okay, cool.
Wits insight first.
Okay. Nothing special to this. So 2.
Her smile that she gives you is warm and gentle. It does not look pain. It does not carry an air of pity as it may have once when dealing with you. It is simply one of, well, you recognize smiles like this amongst your own coterie when you don't see each other for a long time and you finally get to come together, and that feeling of seeing someone you've missed. But she, again, says nothing. Now you may make a wits awareness check.
Okay. It's still not the best roll for me, but it's fine. Just gonna shoop. 2. It's just 2 across the boards today, everybody.
You can willpower and re-roll 2 of those if you wanted.
You know what? This is important because I need to know the shadow is not here for this conversation for the plan to work. So I will very quickly re-roll 2 of those. I got 1 more, so 3.
Yep, so 3. Your eyes dart over instinctually at this point when dealing with Bella, watching as she takes small movements as she greets you and says hello. And you notice that the shadow is in perfect sync and harmony with her for the first time in 15 to 20 years.
Oh, okay.
Since that night that Ava guided many innocent children into a particular orphanage. Innocent is up for debate, but you know.
Yeah, the night I dropped off the box. Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
If she... And then you dropped off the box. So what's interesting, actually, now that you're thinking about this, Dakota, you remember the night you dropped off the box, and you don't remember any dagger being involved. You remember she lifted the box open. Everything went really dark for a little bit. And then when it all came back, she was simply standing there like nothing had happened, but she carried an air of extravagance and power about her.
Right. Now, remind me, because I remember this vividly, because Dakota almost opened this box. She tried to pick it.
Mm-hmm. I know, yeah. You didn't,
remember,
thank God. No. That's a whole other show happening in some universe now.
Yeah, that is actually the darkest timeline. I remember vividly shaking the box to hear if there was anything rattling inside before I tried to pick it. So it didn't make it wasn't there was no dagger in the box because it didn't rattle. The
dagger, that was the point I was getting at, is Dakota would be aware that the dagger came later at some point in the 20 years between when you gave the box over and when the shadow was transferred.
But the box is stuck around because they put the dagger in the box.
Correct.
Interesting. So maybe,
are they part of a set? Who knows?
Oh, okay. Okay.
Interesting.
That's a whole other, okay, we'll have to.
I just want that would be something Dakota would. I would Dakota specifically. I wouldn't need to have her roll for that memory. That probably imprinted the fuck on.
Yeah,
her,
absolutely.
Like
that was the game
shaking
changer
it and
day.
picking the lock. Yeah. It was. It dictated the trajectory of the last 2 seasons completely, whether you succeeded or not.
Well,
because I don't know if Dakota. Oh, that's a fun thing to think about, dude. Like, if you had that shadow latch onto you, dude, would a freaking lick having the power of a Methuselah at her fingertips corrupted?
A gangrel.
A gangrel. I know, man.
It would have been crazy. Really bad. Okay, so
anyway,
darkest timeline aside, Dakota, if she does not gesture for seeing or any of that, Dakota is a bit more polite than she used to be, but this is also. Certainly. To some degree, was her home for 10 years. It's like walking into your parents' house after you go to college for 4 years. It's like, is it your home anymore? Not really. but you also make yourself at home. You know, it comes back naturally. And so I don't think Dakota hesitates to go and sit down in her chair by the fire.
And the chair hasn't changed in those 20 years. The same chair that you sat in before. And even as you sit down in it, she prefers a firmer seat amongst her furniture. And as you sit and engage that gentle resistance, it's almost like a flood of nostalgia rushing back. How something so simple can be so unique and identifiable. And you sit there and the fire warmly crackling on your side with a table that typically had drinks and a book on it, right now empty in front of you and on your right. All of it for a moment. Us viewers can get a nice little profile shot, and there's this flicker of a past where we can see Bella on the other chair, but a younger Dakota sitting there and reading a book while Bella smiles. But it's just little flickers. And now, what were you going to say, Dakota?
Maybe she knows, maybe she doesn't. But this chair, Dakota knows very well and spent a lot of time in. And is it leather?
No. Bella is very for the animals.
So is it velvet?
Velvet.
It's velvet.
It's got that slick.
You know where
smooth.
like a cushion meets the arm of a chair, down like under the cushion, much like a kid would carve their name in a desk at school. You see that Dakota has over time. She just slowly carved away the letter D, like in her chair. You know, that kind of thing when it's like you have to sit with your parents all the time, or like you just have the thing that you do to pass time. And I imagine she spent a lot of time in this chair, and she feels just to make sure it hasn't been covered up and it's still hidden away underneath a cushion somewhere that like scratched away velvet in the D on her chair.
Does your hand kind of gently move to that scratched in D, almost like muscle memory coming back to you?
Yeah, absolutely. And
you almost realize your hand is there after it's already there.
Yeah, exactly. And then you're like, oh, right. And I think Dakota looks over. Is she going to join? Does she look like she's going to join Dakota?
She's smiling at you at the moment, and as you sit down, you take those. This all happens over the course of, we'll say, like 5 seconds.
Sure,
or so.
absolutely.
It's not a lot. She smiles, and the smile holds as you sit. And as you sit down, she does begin making movements to indicate that she's making her way over to you as well. Does Dakota say anything, or does she stay silent?
No, she's gonna get awkward because it's Dakota. It's gonna happen. I said, I'm guessing you got my gift basket.
As you say that, you actually see her. What kind of, was there a drink in that gift basket specifically?
There were a few things in that gift basket. There was, a stolen bottle of wine because Dakota can't.
Of course.
So her favorite, she stole a bottle of wine.
She might be able to afford wine now.
It's not affording it. She can't buy it legally.
Because of her.
Oh, yeah.
She got you a fake ID at some point.
That's never happened. That's right. No one's really gotten her a fake ID.
Nobody's been like, hey, here. That being said, she put a few things in that gift basket. I told y'all I'd hold until we actually saw it, but there were a few things.
So
there was a.
Go ahead. She's basically going to be bringing over a drink from that basket. So you won't necessarily see the basket in all of its glory right now, but you're about to see a piece of it.
Dakota put a few things. Remember, she ran to a drugstore. She went and got flowers. So there were roses and a bottle of wine. But there were also more personal things, like one of the books they used to read. She long ago gave Dakota her first eyeliner. Let her keep it, the black eyeliner she used to make her wear. And she knows that it was Bella's favorite, so she probably shoplifted that from a Walgreens. She put a fingernail polish. Remember, she used to paint her fingernails and those kind of things. And it was a basket to remind Bella that Dakota has not forgotten her, who she was, not who she became.
Do you know, or do you even care, what kind of wine?
Oh, Dot can't drink wine, so I don't know about wine.
But would Dakota have gone out of her way to pick something she thinks Bella would like?
She would have picked Bella's favorite wine, right? So she would have probably seen Bella drink something she liked over the years. Like if she always drinks a Malbec, well then it could have been any Malbec. But I imagine there's like maybe a brand or a type that was just always on the table, right? It's like mom's favorite wine. You know the bottle. You know the bottle because it's always on the counter.
The label.
The label.
Yeah,
and
recognize the label.
Can I get a composure subterfuge roll from you, please?
Yes. Composure subterfuge.
I know. Sounds weird, but yes.
Okay. A lot of low rolls for Dakota today. A messy critical.
Okay.
Ooh.
Would you like to re-roll your 10s to not have it be messy? Your call.
No, fuck it. I show up Saturdays just to be messy on this show.
Make them messy.
Make it messy.
I love it. So 5 total. Excellent. Okay. So my question to you, let me check.
Successes for her.
Well, she is older than you and a little bit more powerful. My only question, I suppose, is in this moment, at this time, how are you feeling toward Bella? Is it aggressive? Is it peaceful? Is it concerned? You name it.
You know how maybe you don't, but maybe you do. You know how when you love someone and they disappoint you?
Oh, what? Come on now. That's called being human, baby. Yeah, that's going to happen to everybody.
They disappoint you deeply. And it's not that you hate them or you want to kill them. It's not an aggressive distaste. But it is a place of like, you met your hero and they disappointed you. And I think that's where Dakota is, right? Bella was, whether she ever wanted to admit it or not, her hero in certain ways. And the bond made her love Bella, fall in love with Bella. And for her, at least for 10 years, to believe that she was loved back until the big break at the Elysium where she called off the gangrel and the Camarilla. That was the moment that Dakota, anything that they had snapped. Their friendship bracelet didn't fit together anymore. And so I think what she's feeling right now is, yes, there's a distaste. There's also a pity because Dakota knows more now than she ever did. But she's,
you don't feel... You're not intent on hurting her at this moment?
No, that is Dakota's interest today was not to come here to hurt her physically.
So as she pulls the bottle of wine that Dakota would immediately recognize from the gift basket that she had given her, she pulls the bottle of wine off of her wine rack, of course. It's already put in its proper place. She grabs a single glass, but looks to you with an inquisitive look. Which you know to be simply, do you want a glass as well? As she's pulling glasses down.
Dakota, she
just shakes her head. Shakes her head. She simply then nods and just pulls the singular glass, a tall, beautiful wine glass that the stem of the glass itself is straight, but the actual glass itself isn't just a typical curved wine glass. It actually goes out into layers and almost blossoms out like a rose, where the layers of the glass kind of overline with each other to create almost like, if you were to look at it straight on, a rose. But it's clear, but as she pours the red wine into it, the actual glass itself becomes that gorgeous red that fills those leaves, or those petals rather fully. She places the bottle back where it belongs and strides over with what bit of her dress that tails behind her, elegantly gliding across the marble floor as the nightlife of Chicago silhouettes her shape as we watch her walk back across until she strides behind you, over to your left-hand side and across the fire as she always did, dragging her fingertips across the table as she always did, and sitting in her spot as she always did.
Dakota probably sits up straight. You know, all the things that like she used to force her to do instinctively, and Dakota's like, oh yeah, I don't have to be that person anymore. Right? That's trauma for you, everybody.
Oh yeah. Do you want to make a roll to stop yourself from doing those kinds of things?
Yes, actually, I do.
As we all know, it's a practice thing. You have to get to the point where you catch yourself doing it before you can start even preventing yourself.
You have to put that wedge in the door to be able to see to the other side, and even the wedge is enough. So, yes. What do you think? A composure roll of some kind, like a?
Oh yeah, absolutely composure. I would say, this is just a composure resolve check makes the most sense to me.
Yes, I agree. That makes sense to me as well. Okay, I got 2. It's tough.
You could re-roll 2,
but she's so pretty, and I love her so much.
Well, with the two happening, you would start to do a lot of how you used to behave. When you catch yourself, it's the moment you let your shoulders slump and you hunch a little bit, and there's a bit of subduedness to the posture that you once carried around Bella, and that kind of clicks for you because you haven't had to sit in a subdued state for Jackson or even Cretius as much as you've been up his asshole and been a pain for him. Ava and Ollie have obviously shown that you are equal, in that no kindred is above you, even if you have to act like it. And so when your shoulders droop and your body kind of gives those more obvious signs of old habits rising to the top, you catch yourself in half a second and are able to sit up straight and are much more mindful of how you carry yourself further on. As she sits down in the chair underneath her, kind of just takes her as she places the glass down on the table. She looks to you finally, right in the eyes, and says, I must admit I am surprised. You do not wish me ill in this moment.
Why would you think that?
There is a silence that sits uncomfortably over the room for 3, 4,
Dakota wants to hear
5
her
seconds.
say it. That is the beast inside that goes, make her say it.
I remember parts of it. But needless to say, for everything that she and I put you through, I will take responsibility for the decision to blood bond you, however. That was a punishment I sought out and found suitable after so many infractions on the Masquerade from you lot.
It's a funny thing about punishment. Sometimes it affects the punisher more than the punishee.
To that, she simply reaches for her glass and takes a sip while she watches and connects your eyes over the rim with you. She places it down, crosses her legs and folds her fingers, lays them gently on her lap, and looks to you.
You look well considering everything.
The very same could be said to you, could it not?
Yes, well, I can say that I wasn't carrying around, the same baggage.
Delivered by who would be my most loyal hound,
Asked
no less.
to deliver by your loyal hound.
It was not I who asked you to deliver it here, Dakota, but I appreciate what you went through.
After everything we've been through, I'd like to ask a question.
She gestures as though the floor is open.
Why? Why did you do it? Why the box? Why the secrecy? Why?
That is an answer that would take more than a single night's conversation for you to fully comprehend.
Well, the good news is, we live for eternity.
That is the folly of kindred thinking.
Maybe.
Eternity is only as long as you're able to keep your wits about you.
And did you keep your wits about you when you
What do you
allowed her
think?
to take over our city?
What do you think?
So what now, Bella? Because you've been traded from the luggage carrier to be the sacrifice. And you and I know neither of us want that. So tell me how to fix it.
Let's see. Are you truly sure that we all don't want that? Or is it your grandest hope that we don't want that?
It is my hope that you are not naive enough to believe that an everlasting eternal night is the right move. So help me understand, Bella. Use your pretty words and explain to me why.
I do not think there is a single answer that'll satisfy your hunger or curiosity.
That's not
You
really
must
your decision to make, though, is it? You can at least give me the peace of mind of knowing that you didn't do it out of some ridiculous, power-driven reason.
If you were to find yourself in the situation I found myself in all those years ago, what would be the reason you would have taken it?
Honestly, I almost did. By accident. It's funny, though, the universe works itself out the way it's supposed to. Couldn't get my claw deep enough in the lock to unlock the box.
And you were saved for that.
Maybe. But you
I will
can't
admit
tell
it
me
was.
with all of your power and your crown that you couldn't have done something else.
There is folly in my ego. I assumed that I could hold back the worst of it, and I was wrong.
Hubris is only useful if you do something about it in the end. It is the great downfall of every hero, yes? So you're out the other side. What are you going to do about it, Bella?
What do you know about me, Dakota?
Clearly
I
not
mean,
enough.
I want you to answer the question. It wasn't rhetorical. What do you know of me prior to my princedom that you and your coterie so graciously helped me sit in?
Not a lot. You made sure when we spent time together, it wasn't really personal. Ava feared you for so long, I imagine that you never really told her anything truthful. And Ollie can't stand to look at you, so I could say we probably don't know enough. But I'll tell you what I do know. When I was here, for all those years, it wasn't always the shadow. And what I was given in my great punishment by the Prince of Chicago was a look at who she really is. Shut up, Princess Bella. I'm talking. That was my cat.
Yeah, I didn't even hear it. So
Okay, yeah, she was like, I know that you care more than you show. I know that your great weakness is not power. It is overestimating the wrong people and underestimating the right ones. And I know your biggest secret.
And what would that be?
That you want a child, and you couldn't have one. And you used my punishment as an excuse to fulfill your desperate need for a mothering, nurturing nature. It is why you fell to the shadow. And it is why you so desperately latched yourself onto it. Because you were empty before she got here.
The Coterie has an interesting way of seeing the truth in flawed angles. You speak truth, but without realizing it.
Maybe.
I am the prince. Should I wish a child, I merely decree it.
That's not what I mean. I meant the love of a child.
Well, and there you're partially correct. The greatest flaw and the greatest strength of our clan, the Toreador, is our passion. Its unwillingness to let go. In that it keeps us much closer to kind than many other kindred out there. You know, the feel of desire on such a deep, painful level. You merely need to look no further than Ava to see what that desire can do. She is lucky, though.
Maybe.
The man she loved did end up saving her, in a manner of speaking.
Maybe.
An eternal night didn't sound so bad on paper. She smiles at that light-hearted sentence of something so heinous as she reaches for her glass again and takes another sip.
I'd laugh, except we're cleaning up your mess.
Is it my mess? Or is it Sybil's mess and I was merely a pawn used to create it?
So tell me you were also a pawn on the board. Tell me you didn't want what she wanted. Say it.
I was a pawn who thought herself a bishop.
Then tell me what I need to know. So just like Saito, somebody that loves you can save you for once. Stop underestimating me, Bella.
What is it that you want? To rid the shadow? To rid Sybil?
I want to know
One
her
will not
plan.
necessarily rid the other.
You have, in fact, spent more time with the Shadow and know her plan better than anyone. We've been piecing together breadcrumbs. Tell me the truth. Tell me what her plan is and how she plans to do it. And for once, trust me that maybe, just maybe, the lost pup who took down your sheriff, your hounds, your crown, without lifting a finger, could maybe, in fact, save you from your hubris.
Dakota, after all this time, you should know that those who have plans only let information that need be known out. I know as much as you do.
So you're telling me you don't know what she wanted to use you for? Or why she brought Vital into the city? Or that you haven't witnessed something behind a closed door?
The promises that were made were only partially kept. My understanding at the start of all of this was stability in Chicago as kindred held territories fall around us. I'm sure you've heard of them all by now. London gone, LA fallen, New York held up by duct tape and shivering 2x4s. Chicago was one of the only stable ones, and, well, you all were embraced at one of the more tumultuous times. The council was small, the prince had gone missing, and Chicago was on the precipice of its own destruction. Only two of us cared enough to do something about it.
Well, now there are
Initially,
more people
anyway.
that care, Bella. You taught me to love this city. It's the reason I never left. I always believed you when you said you cared about the city of Chicago. I'm also a firm believer that people make mistakes. You taught me that. But in that mistake, we can learn something.
The lesson is love will kill those you care about. And no matter what you do to try and save it and create stability, the inevitable will fall, and you'll lose everything.
Then my question is, do you want to turn to dust with your name laden with her vile shadow? Or do you want to
Shadow
go
is no
out?
longer my problem.
Oh, it is, Bella. Because she's coming for you.
I know.
So do me a favor. If you're gonna fucking die, you might as well do it with a little pride and a reinvigoration of your name.
So is that what all this was for?
No. All of this is because I wanted you to know that not everybody in the city had given up on you, even if you have. You have a chance for some level of redemption. You also taught me that right here in these fucking chairs, in front of this fire.
Redemption is a fairy tale.
I don't believe that.
You don't have to. I want you to live. So I suggest you leave Chicago.
That's not gonna happen, Bella. Because unlike you, I will fight to the bitter end. I will not take the easy way out and lay down like a lapdog. because I am
And
not
so
a dog.
you wish to throw what? A kink into her plans?
No. More than that.
She lets that hang in the air.
I see that you're not interested in such plans, and I understand. You've bared a great burden over the last few years. If you're interested in helping out the one loyal pupil that you have left, you could do me a favor. You're still Prince, and she doesn't control you anymore, so you don't get to use that as an excuse.
There's other ways of control beyond direct magical means, Dakota, you know this.
Maybe. But you're a smart lady, and you didn't get to where you are because of her. She rode on your success. She used you. Well, maybe she did underestimate you. That is yet to be seen. I could really use the ban lifted on Thin Bloods in this city.
Why?
Because, Bella, no matter how much I love you, and no matter how much I'm your friend, the fact of the matter is, rulers don't have friends. They have followers. And right now, you don't have any. The Camarilla is bleeding its followers. Your actions have assured that. And I'm working really, really hard to build our numbers back up. Even if it means it has to be Thin Bloods. Why not, Bella?
She leans back and sips from her wine again. You're difficult to figure out. You know that, Dakota.
Maybe. But I've always been difficult. You knew that. This isn't really about me.
Nor I. Not any longer.
I guess
My
what I'm
selfish.
saying is, you had the power to assure the gangrel worm no longer a valid voice in the Camarilla. Which means you also have the opportunity to invite new ones in. And the fact of the matter is, the Thin Blood population here has been dwindling, but it outnumbers the La Sombra by many. And maybe even the gangrel as well. So, the Camarilla can either look to actual numbers and stop fooling itself, or it will lose. And you're going to lose everything you worked for. And the truth of the matter is, she will take it all from you.
She looks over her shoulder, breaking eye contact with you. Actually, over your shoulder, rather. She looks past you, gently gestures to behind you, and if Dakota turns, she simply sees the window to Chicago. And you think everything I love and care about lies in that cityscape. And my desires for Chicago, it was, partially, certainly. Do you remember those early days when we first met?
Yes.
When you were a lick?
Yes.
What do you remember?
Well, let's see. A lot of sarcasm, a lot of distaste from most people, a failed attempt at a party, and, let's call it a swift hand of punishment. But in the bond, I remember your attempts to instill some sense of political etiquette. For you to, I don't know, believe that a gangrel could be something more. And I appreciated it, I guess. Now I can. But most importantly, I remember the stories. The fairy tales, as you called them, that we read. But see, the thing is, Bella, I've learned that fairy tales aren't really that false. They're based on the reality of a situation. Much like this Otai story that got embedded in Ava's little head.
That's Not one of mine. As far as I understand, or was able to glean while coexisting, based on at least a shred of truth. But I want you to think of all the things you just said to me.
Okay.
Ava was disregarded by Sienna for some time. Sienna, I brought much closer to me, purposefully. She was a problem. And Ava was not supposed to exist as a toreador under my understanding.
Yeah, we learned all about that. Kind of all of our sirens got fucked up for weird reasons, and somebody got passed off to this person here and that person there, and then Zach came in and really screwed up your plans. Yeah, I've heard all of that.
Yeah. Well, if it helps you understand why she was treated so very poorly, she was a kink in the works, I suppose. When she realized, or Sienna realized, that Sybil had taken a liking to her, and Ava had seemingly willingly accepted, her resistance within, while subtle, became compromised. And then there's you.
Oh,
And
yes.
you and I know all. And then there's Oliver Hopkins, a Nosferatu who had a very non-Nosferatu like existence for some time. Usually those embraced by the hidden ones either don't live very long, or they do and they stay underground where they're least seen. But he had two particular kindred caring for him, did he not?
He did.
Rudy and our Primogen member Snitch.
Yeah. Real trustworthy folk they are.
I know very little of Rudy.
That's right, he's a bit underwhelming, honestly.
And while Snitch had a interest in Oliver Hopkins due to his lineage and his parents' political dissuasions, it was through my command that Snitch watched over Mr. Hopkins as close as he did. Snitch is perhaps the only one I truly trust on that council, you understand that?
Well, your instincts are still intact. It's probably a good thing he's the only person you trust, since he's the only person so far that seems to be on your side.
You all have an understanding of what it's like to have something ripped away from you, do you not? Each one of you, the three of you.
Yeah, I guess you could say we've learned to deal with loss.
What do you do when the thing that you love is taken away from you? But they are still there as something you cannot stand to look at.
What do you mean? What did you do,
Love,
Bella?
love is downfall, Dakota. I am in my poor position because I made decisions based on emotional connections. Do not make that same mistake. Do you want to remove that shadow permanently? And Ava needs to be staked in the sunlight. You want to do the hard things? You want to do the things that matter and make impact? Those incur loss.
I don't need a lecture on dealing with loss.
And the other Heloise needs to be gone.
Do not fret. I am strong enough to deal with Ava for the both of us. Something nobody can do. But more importantly, I'm way ahead of you, Bella. What I need to know is where her body is. Because I know you know.
That's where you're wrong. I do not. She is no fool.
Tell me, if I stake Ava and put her into torpor tonight, hide her body in the deepest depths of the lake, will it stop Sybil's plan?
No.
Why?
But it will make it more difficult for her.
Tell me why it won't stop her. She needs Ava's body for some reason, just like she needed yours.
Well, Ava is preferred for many reasons that I fully don't understand. Clearly, things can be moved around.
And what's with this fucking dagger?
That I am unaware as well. I apparently made the order to have it found and brought to me.
What is it? What is it called?
You think I was told? I mean it when I say I remember bits and pieces. When she had a realization of my true desires,
Here's a question I have.
time disappeared.
If we torpor Ava, and you were to disappear, both pieces to Sybil's plan, what then?
If my understanding is correct, it won't matter much. There are La Sombra here in the city, and a Methuselah of her strength could potentially call them at will even while she slumbers.
Then let me not burden you any more with my plans. I've never lied to you, Bella.
I understand that, and I am never going to forget that, I promise.
Don't. Because like you said, we've got to get rid of the ones we love, right? And I've become really good at taking heads. I don't really want to have to take yours.
That decision may already be made.
Maybe.
But your lives don't have to be in jeopardy. You can leave.
No, we can't, Bella.
That's where you're wrong.
What?
You
And leave
can.
eternal night to come to this place and then the next and the next. At some point, we don't have anywhere else to run to. And I'm going to be honest with you, Bella. I stopped running the night that bitch turned me into who I am. I started facing my problems because somebody gave me the power to do something about it. I don't run from my problems anymore. Not from you, or Hodges, or Oliver Hopkins, or even the Heloise twins. Because in the end, I will always be the thing that they fear. Every one of them. Because Dakota Rain survives. And when this is all said and done, I can promise you, Sybil will fear me as they do. And it may mean my death, but I will know as I dust into fucking ash that I got under her proverbial skin, just like I did Hodges. Just like I did your hounds. Just like I did you. And if I have to stand alone when it's all done, I will know I still loved, even if I had to take their heads.
I hope that's enough for you. I pray it's enough for me when my time comes.
Maybe. But you know where to find me if you change your mind.
I would not burden you with that any longer, Dakota. Those days are behind me.
Maybe. But once a loyal hound, always a loyal hound. So remember, Bella, the next time you're backed in a corner and you feel you have no options, there might still be somebody in your corner. If you brave up and face your mistakes instead of running from them.
Do you know why she took away control from me?
I can only imagine it's because I was a bit of a cog in her plan.
And why do you think that is true? What do you think you did that made it difficult?
For whatever reason, you had feelings, or I guess I could say I took your attention away from her.
That wasn't so much the issue. When I began falling in love with you, Dakota, that was the problem. Because then I started having thoughts that I couldn't hide from her about turning on her. Whatever reason, she thinks Ava is a better suit now. I now must live in a city with two that I once loved and can never have. I do not know if there's much to care for any longer, but I will maintain peace in Chicago as a prince should. And I will pray for you. But should the hour of midnight come and eternal darkness sweeps across our city, I will take great joy knowing that I, in some way, perhaps influenced you in the right direction.
I want you to know, when it's all said and done, whatever legacy that you leave behind, good or bad, I appreciate you, Bella. And I will make sure that if I am your legacy, that it does your name right.
If what you do is done and my legacy is remembered because of it, then a lie is all that's known. You are what you are, Miss Dakota, because of your decisions and your resistance and your actions.
But it was because of your care that you helped me find hope in a very, very hopeless time.
I don't know what it is about the independent spirit that I am eternally attracted to, but here we are, proving me right again.
And it's because you don't have one.
Perhaps.
Your spirit is trapped in ivory towers. So if you know you're gonna die, what do you have left to lose, Bella?
You and him.
Him?
And that matters to me.
Him?
Yes, no. Were you not listening earlier?
The other one that you love. Who is he?
It matters not.
It matters a lot, Bella.
It doesn't.
Because you just told me that you loved me.
One can love more than one.
Correct. And that love binds us in something called family.
No, we are not family. I blood-bound you and enslaved you.
Yes.
You believe those feelings to be love.
My feelings may have been falsified by your vitae. But your feelings, those were real.
I cannot. I apologize, not now.
Tell me his name.
No.
Please.
Begging and a gangrel go hand in hand.
Maybe. But I won't sit on my knees at your feet right here, on this very rug.
There's nothing that you can offer me, or I would put forth and put him in danger, his name.
I hope you know by now I don't mean him danger.
And I hope you know by now it is not because of you. I do not know what she is capable of, but there is a person in your company that carries her weight. I cannot risk that.
I understand.
No matter your guarantees, Dakota.
If you ever decide to tell me, I can promise you, I will protect him. Like
you already are by
family.
trying to. You already are by trying to while foolishly or not, stop everything.
What is it then about him that you love?
The list goes on for an eternity, but perhaps it is my curse to be in love with those who wish independence, as I said. His fiery spirit is independent decision to bear responsibility for his actions. His inability to give up. And then she laughs, and as she laughs, she looks to you with just a gaze of endearment. Maybe I have a type after all. Lord knows Miss Heloise does.
Are you in love with Snitch?
I will not speak a name.
Can I read her when I say Snitch's name?
Sure, you may make me a wits insight if you wish.
This could be rough. I will rouse. I want to know his fucking name. Okay.
I want to know if you critical fail, you're gonna be like,
Definitely
Brett
crush
Stryker.
on Snitch. It's over. Yeah. No.
No, Brett Stryker. Like, definitely, it's Brett Stryker. She loves Brett Stryker.
Oh, God. All right. 2 to this pool to make it a little better.
You give a specialty in any way? Well, you can re-roll one of those.
No, it's only a 2.
Which, you are unable to pull forth whether yes or no. She's maintained her feature, like her expression, as neutrally as she has always, and it has been, to be fair to Dakota, quite a while since she's spent some one-on-one time with her.
I have a question.
But you say Snitch, she says, I will not speak his name, and you can go from there.
Why don't you run?
Because if I am to step down from princedom, I can only imagine her influence will put somebody much more willing in my place. I consider myself here buying time now, doing what's necessary, as slowly as possible, because it is better that than train somebody entirely new.
What if there was a suitable replacement?
She shakes her head. None know as much as I do about these streets.
Maybe.
None.
But you're going to let all of that knowledge die with you if you don't pass it on.
If I pass on, then I can only imagine eternal night is merely around the corner, and we've failed. It matters not. Actually, she shouldn't have said we've failed. You've all failed.
Maybe. But when have the loud ones ever failed?
Your definition of success is a little wibbly wobbly, but
Maybe, but we're still here.
you are. Not only are you here, but you've risen to quite prominent figures among Chicago.
Yeah, out of necessity, I'd say. You have a lot taken away from you. You don't have much of a choice. But I will say, Bella, I meant what I said about the Thin Bloods. You don't have to isolate possibility. I could use your help. I don't offer or ask for help very often. I definitely have never asked for yours.
You have to keep in mind the political situation I inevitably would find myself in, beyond the value, of course, that you speak they would bring, and I truly do believe you. But should I make a decree of something so sweeping and game-changing for a city such as this, the council would rise. There are many who would oppose, and that could threaten the political stability here in Chicago.
Maybe. But you and I both know that on one side of politics is instability. But sometimes in instability we find stability. I need to be able to bring the gangrel back. And we need more followers on our side, not the anarchs.
The gangrel are welcome to come through Chicago. They simply have no representation on the council at the moment. The I will consider your words.
Thank you. And I'll do the same for yours.
Then is that what tonight was for? Business.
No. I wanted to see what she left behind.
A broken and defeated woman
No.
who still can't let go of the things she cares about, no matter how much harm they do to her.
Maybe. But in whatever martyrship you see this as, it's actually just really selfish, Bella. Because love is not always about protecting something. Sometimes we have to do hard things. Like potentially stake our sister. Or take your Coterie member's head. Or be at the wrong end of the fist of the sheriff more often than I care to count. Or get beat up by your boyfriend in a back alleyway to assure he doesn't make it to the street. All these things are also love. You
I often wonder
cannot
why.
control everyone. And you can't control those people that you love. You can only control your actions.
I often wonder why my sire chose me. Sometimes I wish I had been a gangrel or a Ventru.
Why?
But there is for what we are, no matter how much you may speak the truth, as much as I may love something, the beast loves it 10 times harder than I ever could. And that is a fight that I often lose to, no matter how hard or how long I resist. I find myself unable to speak with people, the loss of words, obsessed with the thought of wanting what I deserve. And those decisions led me here, for good or ill. But she looks back to you after looking to the ground so intently. I am aware you gangrel have your own problems. Anger leading to sprouting of animalistic features is adorable, but I can only imagine devastating.
Maybe. But I've learned to accept that part of myself instead of feel shame for it, Bella.
And she leans back, and that's why I haven't left. It is not shame that keeps me here, but acceptance. And so if my life means buying more time for those I love, then so be it. That is what I will spend the last days, months, or years of my life doing.
Then you ride it out in the safety of your ivory tower. If you can't help me with the Thin Bloods, then maybe you can do this instead. Allegedly, there might be some in town. I want to give them a safe place. You opened up the borders of my train yard for the gangrel. And I'd like to allow that to be a safe place for the Thin Blood who would be slaughtered by their own kind.
It's a hot spot for
your people to stay out of my business.
That's what I was getting to. It's a hot spot for anarchic territory. I'm sure you're aware of the terrorist attacks that have been taking place because of them.
I have another question. This love.
Please.
Did he like music?
There are many things he liked, Dakota. If you're asking if he was solitarily interested in music, no. And if you're insinuating at the Coterie that calls themselves a band,
I'm not.
it's not Nero. I wasn't even aware that man still existed until he returned.
Well, I hate to break it to you, but all your activities seem to wake him from his slumber. You see,
Yes, I've heard rumors that some music has woken him up.
Yes, all of Sybil's activity seems to have, I don't know, let's see, break the bounds of our reality with another. And the oblivion is seeping into Fairyland, we'll call it.
I am aware of the rudimentary understanding about as much as you. That those that exist there are incomprehensible to me. To be honest, the only way I know, or the only reason I now know they exist, is because of happenings at Madison.
Yeah, that place is
For a while, they just seemed like rumor.
Well, they're not. Guess what? They're super duper real. Not in your dreams anymore, Bella.
Fascinating, certainly. But I fear that you came to me hoping that there would be a well of information you could tap.
No, Bella. I came to you hoping that you wouldn't be caught up on the idea that I needed your protection anymore. I don't need your protection. I need your love.
I learned the hard way that's not what you needed. I could have let you go from that blood bond earlier.
I know. But you didn't. And it's fine.
It is not fine.
Healed
Just
from my bonds.
And I'm glad. But we should not lie to one another.
I've never lied to you, Bella. Bonded
Well, to
or
me
not.
it matters. To me it matters.
Well, then you deal with your own repercussions. Because I forgave you years ago.
Then allow me to offer you the thing you needed then. An apology. I kept you bloodbound longer than needed, and you are correct. A part of it was the fear of losing you. The other part was your coterie. But that doesn't matter now. I am surprised and yet thankful that you forgive me.
Looks like we're both full of surprises today. I
will
never forsook you.
I will speak to those in the council that I can. The only one who may be for it is Jackson.
Yeah, you talk with Jackson.
He has been an excellent Avendru Primogen on the council, but the others, the sun is unpredictable. I do not know which way he'll fly, and I will do what I can, I promise you that much, but I will only do what I can within the safety of our political cage.
I know you fear losing the things that you love. But you never lost me, Bella. But if you don't do something real about this problem, you actually might lose me.
I may feel I already have, even if you do not believe that to be true.
Well,
because your emotions did not spring from a well of earnest truth,
maybe,
but that of the vague red cloud of unnatural means, and so
but
I
I'm
do
not
not truly
under
know.
your bond anymore, and I'm
I am
speaking
aware.
and telling you. You still have a chance to do right, Bella, and not just by me, but whoever this man is that you love. You don't have to do nothing. You're choosing to.
We choose to see it differently, as we always have.
Yes.
But I find that part of what is so well lovable about you. You give me a perspective I often don't look at.
Well, I'm glad I could be a ray of sunshine this evening for you. I don't want to take up any more of your time.
I cleared a few hours. But if you wish to leave and you have business to tend to, please.
You want me to stay?
Oh, you did send me a gift. Unless it truly was.
Well, it wasn't really a gift for me. I mean, I just thought, imagine after all that time under her control, you probably hadn't bought new eyeliner or the polish you like, and like your wine was probably bad, and I know she wasn't putting fresh flowers in here like you like, so I just wanted to make sure,
She actually, like, a very light-hearted giggle. I was very surprised by how much you still remembered of what my fondnesses for makeup were specifically.
Well, maybe not everything was the bond.
I would like to believe that. But have you ever known me to drink wine alone, Miss Rain?
No, you used to make me sit here and watch you drink it.
And so tonight, I wish to not drink alone.
Then I will stay.
Can I get you anything? I can have vitae brought up.
No, I feel fine. No, thank you.
You're sated to your hunger?
Struggling, if you know what I mean.
She nods. Everybody has their preferences. Well, can I get you anything from around? Well, she leans back and actually waves a hand as she uncrosses and then crosses her legs the other way. You know this place, I said, well enough. If there's anything you'd like,
why don't
help yourself.
I ask you what you would like? When was the last time you read a book?
Even simpler than that. I cannot remember the last time I had genuine company.
Well, then we should stop talking business and shoot the shit, as they say.
She smiles and nods, and as she does, she takes the last bit of wine in her rose glass, and stands up to pour herself another glass. And as she finishes it, is there anything else for this scene you'd like, or is this kind of fade out?
No, I imagine we kind of
conversation?
spend the evening together, and Dakota will simply, maybe on her way out, remind Bella, your feelings are valid, Bella. But they may not be the truth.
She doesn't respond. She just quietly nods as she picks up what's left of her wine glass as you walk out, and she takes the last sip just as your door shuts behind you.
If you need anything, you know where to find me.
Have a good evening, Miss Rain. It was an absolute pleasure to see you.
Prince.
And as you step out and the door shuts, the screen cuts to black and we'll go on break.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry that took so long, everybody.
No, please. I knew that was going to be a little bit.
That was so good.
Princess Bella comes just in time.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Did she? Oh, yeah, there she is. She's like,
here's the cattail.
Love me.
All right, everybody. We'll be back on for break. We're going to take a quick, and then I imagine there's more shenanigans, so we'll be right back.
Yep. Woo.
check. Hello?
We're back.
This has been fun on my side of
Holy
things, guys. You have no idea. I've been
y'all.
like, they've been like,
Y'all.
is it this? We've got a list. Is it this? No, it's
Y'all.
not this, is it?
We're going back.
We have dug
the
deep
old
in the
ass
notebooks.
notes.
But you know what?
The
All
old
of that
notes.
is for the after show. It's for
Yes.
Or in character conversations
Yeah.
brought up in context.
Boy howdy, is Dakota skateboarding quick
Again,
to find
I'm
Ava.
going to say this to chat because I said it to you guys off camera as well. If anyone's doing deep dives, there's things in season 1 and in season 2, because you have to keep in mind all these characters didn't exist because Chicago by Night didn't exist in season 1.
Right.
So when I made the city, I made connections and relationships with every NPC with all kinds of like shit behind it. So there are little things that might seem odd to a normal VTM player that going back now, when you learn, is gonna and it all will hopefully make sense.
Oh God, I'm just
I'm
waiting
very
to push
excited.
that first domino down. Okay, yeah, Dakota is like full on 4 wheels all the way back to find Ava.
Yeah, and okay, so you're just going back
wait.
to
The question is Ava at the Ivory Tower? I'd go by her apartment. Right.
yeah. I mean, I imagine you go back. Oh yeah. This is the night where
Yep,
you
on
were
the
all
way.
going back anyway. So I imagine if she's not there, she'll be there eventually because she doesn't sleep in the bar or anything.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Dakota waits outside your apartment just like, oh God.
So-
right. I keep rapping like you're gonna appear from the inside for some reason. Like, yeah.
Ava
When
comes
do you
back.
roll back usually? Like right before sunrise? Or
Yeah,
because you guys
Ava
can
was
stay up
out.
past sunrise, but you will then have to either be kind of exhausted the next day, or Dakota, you've got to stay and sleep at her place.
Ava's out. She never stays
Yeah,
home.
she never
was
stays
out
home.
partying, probably.
Oh
Yeah,
my
probably.
God. Okay,
She just
so,
came back from a date with Brett, and she's
so
like,
but where
Well,
was
no, maybe because like your
Are you gonna
independent
stay
events
at
kind of
Brett's
happen
place?
as well.
"Oh God, no."
Okay,
No.
so are you gonna go back to Ollie's place or would you come back here at the end of the
No,
night?
she'd go back to the Ivory Tower, I think.
To the tower.
Okay,
if the sun is coming soon,
Yeah.
I
I'll
am
go back to the
sitting
tower.
outside your door.
So when you roll around, Ava, as the elevator rises to the floor that you stay on, which is is that 27th floor or something, I think? I
Yeah,
can't
it's
quite
way
remember.
up there. It's way up there.
And you round the corner, looking basically as good as you did when you left. You look that good now, to empty hallways, barring 1 or 2 personal security that keep the place safe. And outside the door, leaning like, are you like on your butt with your knees brought up and your like toes are tapping and stuff, or?
I am okay. Yeah, I'm like sitting there, like toe tapping, like oh my god. I keep checking my fake tattoo watch. Matt, that's while
Yeah.
I'm in the midst of this rant with Dakota being nervous, waiting outside. We did fill the bar before the break.
Oh yeah, the shadow bar.
The Saito bar is full.
Noted.
At
Noted.
the
You'll say-
worst
we'll
possible
see.
time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I will no.
Well,
I'm gonna take
Ava's,
that, and you will trust me. You'll know when it happens.
Fuck. Okay, so
Ava's strolling down like in her heels.
and
like,
you see her leaned up against the wall on her butt and fidgeting, and you actually, Dakota, you can hear her coming before she rounds the corner.
I get up.
'cause you're
I
so
get up.
on
I'm like
edge.
waiting outside the door like a dog that's like been waiting all day to be like let in, like I'm like chop mama.
Dakota, you're here.
By the look on her face, either Damien has kissed her or Chicago is going to burn. That is the 2
First of
possible
all-
options based on the look on her face.
Also, hi Beb, I see you in there. I love you, everybody.
Beb.
Go down to
Hi,
youtube.com/roll4 to go watch the first 2 seasons in this one.
Okay. I'm here.
Ava, clearly confused, kind of like, I'm here as she puts the key into the lock,
Yeah.
but looking at
You
the
haven't
photo while
even
she does it.
seen-
If you don't unlock that door, I'm going to break it open. I've been waiting for hours. What have you been doing?
okay.
It's
I was at a-
Tuesday.
Party. I was at Titty Tuesday.
Oh my god.
That's why.
Oh, Brett was there, dude. Brett was there,
I
but
can
he was
smell
like
Brett's
in
cologne on you.
hilariously, you can.
Yeah.
Very distinct.
Yes. Well, I had a good night. I hope you did. You could tell me all about it. I opened the door.
Yeah, and as the
Come
door
on in.
swings open, you're greeted with her pristine apartment,
You
decorated
haven't even
with.
seen the redecorations.
It's
That's true, you
glorious
haven't.
and wonderful. It has a real Joanna Gaines vibe to it. Listen, I need you.
The door shuts behind you.
I need you to
You start talking before it's even
to
locked.
have a seat. Would you like to have a seat in your own apartment? I have things to tell you.
Yes. Sit down. I'm gonna get a drink.
Nope,
Do you
no
want
time
anything?
for that.
Okay. All right. I sit down.
Okay. So what say I took the initiative to send Bella a welcome home basket?
Okay.
Okay. What say I did that because I really wanted to see if I could pump her for information regarding the situation.
I would say that's a very Toreador thing for you to do.
Great. Well, learn from your enemies. So, I thought it would be a great idea. And by all standard it was, but Bella is in love with someone.
She's in love with someone.
2 people, in fact, me. Great leverage.
Oh.
2, there's a man.
There's a man
There's a man.
in Bella's life.
She said
on
him.
life.
She said him. Now, maybe it's like a daddy thing, and that's what she calls him, but like, I don't think it's like that.
I've been there.
Okay.
Been there, still there, can't get out of here, actually.
Yeah, I'm not going to comment
Okay.
on that or Brett's cologne.
Yeah. Okay. First of all, so that's why you're here. You went to go see Bella.
I was summoned.
You were summoned to see Bella
Yeah.
after sending her a gift.
Yeah. Of things she loves, like eyeliner and fingernail polish.
Well, good job. You didn't even need my help for that, so that's good.
No, but I learned it from you.
This is true. Okay. Oh, should we be having this conversation here at the tower? I mean, she's right downstairs. Do we want to like talk? I mean, it's not the it's not the first time.
How dare you say
I know.
downstairs?
She's below me. I got Sybil. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't say that. Should we be having this? I mean, she's like right. I mean, I don't mind at this point.
How about we turn on some music and pour some tea?
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to.
And the 2 of you, particularly Ava, are correct. This place is bugged. You found the bugs in the past. You know where the
I
bugs are.
remember that. Yeah.
And at this point, Ava, we've you have the place swapped, checked for bugs.
My brother
And
helped me.
occasionally, yeah, Zach taught you all about that. And occasionally, there is a bug moved or in a new spot. But you have your tactics and how to deal with it, as do many kindred who reside in the Ivory Tower.
So can I?
It's more of an amateur trap for new folks staying at the tower.
So I can debug this. Do I need to roll for it?
No, I'm not going to say you need to roll for it. You turn music
Okay.
up loud enough. You
Okay.
do the things that most people can do to drown out their
and
conversation.
Dakota will say, it sure would be a shame if somebody found out that Bella has a soft spot for a few things. I say, kind of insinuating that maybe somebody should hear. I mean, it sure would assure that she's not really fit to be prince.
Yes. Right.
I mean, but what do I know? Nothing.
No, of course not.
I think I know.
And that's when the music rises.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. What do you play?
Not Moonlight
Some
Sonata.
K-pop,
Yeah, no,
some
I-
K-pop.
I play some nice classical music.
Sure.
Very like dramatic strings
Sure.
that are playing in the background.
Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah. And I just turn it up.
So hear me out. I think we know this person. If we didn't, or she wasn't concerned that we could know this person, she would have told me. I was on the verge of getting it. I almost finagled it out of her, but
She knows the person. We know the person.
So if we narrow it down, because we know Bella only has a taste for kindred, and she mentioned having a soft spot for free spirits, thus her downfall with me. That being said, I have thoughts.
So do I. What are your thoughts? You go first.
Well, Bella assured me that even if I stake you through the heart, it won't entirely stop Sybil's the sandwich plan.
Well, there goes that idea.
Oh no, you will probably still. That's gonna happen.
Well, sure, but it's not going to be
No.
it's not going to be the solution for all
Here's
this.
the idea. Sybil's been building a puzzle over years, right? When you put a puzzle together, it only makes sense with all the pieces, and she's almost got all of them. Whatever this fucking box is, whatever this fucking dagger, Vitel is some fucking black hole of a doorway. All of it, you, Bella, switching places, all of it somehow makes sense together in her mind, not in ours. Fuck. I still haven't figured it out. But if you start taking puzzle pieces away, the picture is less and less clear. She can't get to where she needs to be if she doesn't have everything that she fucking needs. So, Bella is first. Because it's easy.
Is Ava curious what this has to do with Bella loving somebody?
Yes.
Doesn't.
I'm watching the thoughts flow out of Dakota's mouth as they arrive, basically.
Okay, Dakota, you're not making a lot of sense right now. We were talking about Bella's love life, and now you're talking about Sybil's plans.
It's all one and the same. All she could talk about were the things that she loved. Her bane of being obsessed with taking care and protecting that which she cares the most about. It is her great weakness, and it is the reason she signed whatever dark fucking contract she made with the sandwich.
Sybil. We never really understood why she did all of this. Like, why, truly?
She said it would take too long to tell me, which means it's actually rather simple, and she's very embarrassed by it.
Probably. So maybe you're right. Maybe it does have to do with who she loves. Is she protecting them? Is she?
She believes so, even though it's foolish and prideful, and built out of a large scale of cowardice that I can't quite get into. That being said, who do you think it is? Check yes, like what? Do it check yes or no, baby? Let me know. Who do you think it is? I got ideas.
Well, she and I are very similar in some ways. And so I'm like, who would I be into that also that she would be into?
You have the same taste. You have different problems with your taste.
We actually, yes, I would agree with that. I can't see her loving. You know what? I can't.
Not Saito.
No. It must be somebody. She's known.
I think it's Rudy.
He's been around.
Why would she go through all this effort to help nobody but the La Sombra?
He's a La Sombra. It could be him.
She made it clear that she did what she did for Sybil to protect something, and the La Sombra were being squashed.
Yeah.
My guess.
She's known.
He's basic
Snitch.
Whatever.
She's known Snitch for Snitch has known Bella for a very long time. Yes.
No wonder I didn't like him.
They've known each other, and we know he's been around for a long time, but he's a Nos.
I mean,
I
love to know Nosferatu. But it seems odd. Everything Ollie's told us about Snitch has been that Snitch's only care are the Nosferatu.
That's true. It's his clan.
And if she's that dedicated to him, then she would believe in whatever strange, I don't know, obsession he has with the Nosferatu clan. Weird family vibes.
I would make you roll, but it was just the conversation from a few hours ago, Dakota. The line that you had repeated off camera. Do you need it again, or
why don't you just tell everybody at home for the sake of them here?
No, yeah. There was a lot of things said, so there's a lot there. But it was after she was talking about lamenting losing you. She says you don't know what it's like to lose something, but still have to see them in a different way, basically for eternity. To see them, but have an inability to be near them or love them.
Okay, I repeat that verbatim.
Okay.
So what does that mean? That means she's also lost this thing? Oh shit, is it Hodges?
Something that she's lost. It could be Hodges. Again, I can't see that.
You're making good connections. I'll say that much. You may have already said it. We'll see. What?
Dakota, you have one of those light bulb moments.
Hey, Ava, do you remember that one time we blew up a house?
Yeah.
You don't think we, like, killed him, did you?
Did any kindred die in that explosion?
We
Or was it
don't
just
actually
time?
know. We just know that
Yeah.
it mattered to Hodges what was in there, but we don't actually have any
Yeah.
clue what the collateral
That's
damage
true.
of that event
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
Fair.
I don't know. It's not
Hodges.
Do you know Bella's age or no?
No.
Unless
knows
she
Bella's
told
age?
me over that 10 years.
I don't think she did.
No, then
If she did, it was in passing, and maybe she was vague about it.
I don't know.
Prince.
Max?
I
Maxwell?
love you guys, and I hate you guys so much because you always are like, you're like in the room with the meal. You know what I mean? Like you're right there,
What
but then
the
you wander off
fuck?
to a different table, and I'm like, no, you were kind of on the right track
Boy.
before. Come back.
Fuck. All right.
There's no way. I will have you. Okay, give me in order your top 3 picks.
Oh my gosh.
Rudy. I think
Okay,
Rudy's my number
Give-
one guess as well.
I think
Rudy number 1.
Rudy's the top. Maybe Sheriff Hodges. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
What
And
about
then
Juan? That was the Hound. Toss that in as a
Mhm.
name. Maybe not on my list, but
Well, yeah, he's a
Yeah,
possibility as well.
I'm just
He's
gonna
been
write it
gone.
down.
You killed him, I think, Dakota.
Yeah.
would-
you have
you
killed
know
a lot.
what? I was only on site. I in fact did not kill.
Fair
them.
enough. Fair
I
enough.
don't know. Fucking Malik. Like, could it be
So-
Zach's
That's
old
a
sire?
name I haven't heard in a hot ass minute.
Yeah.
All right, I am gonna like what the plan here is like. You can make a guess, and then you can roll. And should you succeed the roll, I'll tell you if your guess is correct or not.
Oh. Okay.
Okay, so we need to choose somebody
Dakota?
different. So Mathis has to give us 2 answers. It's a better chance.
Yes.
Oh, you want me to give you
Dakota.
2 answers?
Well,
Well,
like,
what
so
are your
I
what are your
guess
top
one,
2?
I guess one,
And
Tracy
then
guess
Ava.
one, and then we
Yes,
roll
yes.
to see if. Okay.
Yeah. So each one, give me one.
Okay.
I feel like
So
Dakota-
start with Dakota first. What's Dakota's gonna guess
Okay,
gonna be? And
let's
this is
see.
gonna be a wits insight check.
Wow.
Thinking on your conversation with her, the things she'd said. Because you did recently converse with her, you will get a +1 to this roll.
Oh, okay. Then let's just. You want to rule out Rudy?
rule him out that he might not be it. I think he's on the table.
Oh, I think that's what I mean. Is like, do we want to go ahead?
Yes.
That is Dakota's
That's going to be
we should
Dakota's
try.
guess because
We should
Dakota's
go
going to
for
get
it.
probably the
Yes.
strongest roll here.
I
or
would
what?
say Rudy. I would probably take. Honestly, I'm thinking snitch.
I will
just
say,
can't.
Here's what I
see.
will say as well. Dakota, you can't rouse the blood to hire this role, but when it comes to Ava, because she has the gift of premonition, I will allow her to rouse the blood to give a bonus dice to her roll, if that makes sense to you.
I feel I feel this Saito bar coming on. How do I feel that? Okay.
What?
I will say, Dakota, if we can't figure this out,
I'm rolling.
We'll investigate this for ourselves. I will talk to Rudy, and
I'll
will get that
investigate it
information
to
out
the end
him.
of the fucking earth.
I will find out Rudy's history.
And Dakota, like while I'm taking a vote in my mental mind, Dakota writes out a note to Ava and like slips it across, and it says, "I also know how to kill the sandwich."
I read that, I'm just like, question mark, and I'm okay. We'll figure that out.
One
in a
thing at a
minute.
time.
Yeah, we'll
so
get to that.
was it a resolve? What did you roll, Mathis, that you wanted?
Oh, my bad. I said wits insight.
Okay, that's not as good, but that's not as bad as
Because it wouldn't be a memory check. It's more you just trying to take what you know of Bella,
Yep.
how she gave you the information, and try to infer.
Okay, this might not be as good as I. All right, I got one success.
Woof, baby. Do you want to re-roll 2 of those or leave it at
can
the
I?
one?
Yeah, I'll take a willpower. I know I
Yeah,
couldn't.
this is
rouse, but-
all rolls other than rousing.
Yeah,
rolls.
I'll be
Roll that
fudge
shit.
it. Give me 2 more.
Yeah, give two more. You
What's
could
the
crit.
worst that could happen? I got another 2.
Two's not what I'm looking for. But the normal. No, you know what? Did you take your plus and you took your extra dice, right, from the
Yeah,
one I'm
because
giving
my wits
you on
insight
top of
actually
it?
isn't that high.
Okay. I would say you're not entirely certain, but you don't feel you have as you start thinking about the puzzle pieces, Rudy doesn't seem to fit as well, but it still very much could be.
Okay.
And that
So
could
he's
just be
not-
because you failed. That could be
right.
because you failed your roll, though. That
Okay.
you failed your roll and you're
Yeah,
inferring the
he's
wrong
still
thing.
on the table, basically. He's still on the table.
Yes, he's very much still on the table. So you hear Dakota kind of start orally, just kind of speaking what's happening in her head the best
All
you
right,
can,
Ava.
maybe making notes. And then she kind of puts like a question mark over Rudy on a piece of paper in that like, she's still not entirely sure.
Yeah, the other T
All
napkin, I'm writing names and we're Xing through them.
I think it's got to be the
Well,
alternative.
Do you want to infer? Do you want to take a bonus from being
Yes.
Do the
Okay.
premonition. Do it. Oh, this is
That
good.
runs. I'm
Yes.
just going to let you know that runs a risk of things going poorly should you roll certain ways.
Yeah, and my hunger's at 3, so
So you may rouse a blood then, because you're
hmm.
going to be actively rousing the blood to try. Do you have anything of Bella's that she can touch and use as like a? No, it really wouldn't work. Spirit touch wouldn't help. Yeah, that doesn't help.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So do I want to try for Rudy or do I want to try for somebody else? I think I should.
Well, again, like that's not happening in game. You assume you're both kind of chatting.
Oh, okay.
Meta-wise,
okay.
one's
Got
guessing,
you,
the
got
other's
you.
guessing. But in game, all we're seeing is the two of you throwing ideas back and forth, writing
yeah.
things down, drawing lines, trying to figure things out.
Yeah.
You've got Brett Stryker and then immediately crossed out Brett Stryker.
Yeah, no, I know. There's absolutely no world in which that happens.
Yeah. So you may rouse your blood. You did so. You didn't
I
get any
did,
hungrier,
yes.
so you can add 2 to this
Who are you
roll.
guessing, Tracy?
Yeah, what's your guess? Give me a guess first.
I'm going to try for snitch.
Okay.
All right.
Let me see. I don't know what your pool is for wits, insight.
It's
plus.
pretty high. It's
Okay.
I got 3 dots in wits, 2 in insight.
Plus, and you get the +2.
Yep. One moment. It's a messy critical.
Oh, you
Tell me.
You can't even undo it because of 2 hunger dice.
Tell me.
Oh.
Tell me. Ava figures it out. Tell me. Tell me this gossip girl knows what's up. Mean girl style. Puts the gossip together.
This is Ava's. Come on.
Okay.
It's Bella.
Okay. Give me take a quick 2-minute break. I need a second.
Oh,
I know what I want to do, but I need to think of the scene in more detail to have it planned out.
I know what I have to do.
But needless to say, Dakota, you're about to see some familiar black veins show up.
Damn it.
And Ava, something new is about to happen to you.
Oh my. Okay. Y'all, we'll be right back. I'm putting this and be right back. Everybody take a deep breath. We are going
My
to be
chat's
right
probably
back.
going crazy. Hey everybody, welcome back. As you can see, we had to go get somebody. Hey Josh,
Hi.
Oh
how's
my
it going,
God.
man?
I don't know what's going on.
I know.
No,
Here's what you
none
need
of
to
us
know.
do, except Mathis.
They learned a little something about Bella. They've been kind of pitching they've been having a one-on-one discussion about what it could be. Ava made a decision to lean into her premonition powers while coming up with theories. She made a roll, and she messy critted in a way where she couldn't even roll to undo the messy crit, thus the die of hunger die being a threat. And here we are. And I had an idea of what I was going to do, but you're
You gotta
here.
love Ava.
Dude, every time. Every time.
I did it. I swear to God, dude.
No, it always
Can't make this shit
works. So here we are, and Saito, you will be as
The Saito
confused
bar
as you
literally
are.
summoned Saito.
It did.
I
It did.
know.
The Saito bar
What you
actually
guys-
summoned him.
I had a
guys
feeling.
think?
I was like playing Valheim. I was like, oh,
You can feel the pulse.
Didn't they start a little bit ago?
Yeah. All right. If all is good, now we'll dive back in, picking up where we left off.
Oh, I'm gonna mute myself.
As the loud music is playing inside the apartment in the ivory tower, while Dakota and Ava are sat across from each other, writing notes and speaking at quiet volumes as to who is it that Bella loved that made her do all of this. Their ideas are passed back and forth until at some point, Dakota, Ava mid-sentence goes silent. You look up and the music that was playing on the record changes. It scratches. The lights flicker rapidly before most of them go off, sparing a few. And the music itself changes to Moonlight Sonata, playing in the apartment openly. Does Dakota react to this? Or does she immediately like...
I hate this song. It reminds me of Madison.
Certainly.
In every way. And as soon as it starts to... and Ava's not saying anything. Dakota probably stands up and is like, on guard now.
And as you look around, you look back to Ava, and it's here you notice that she's stuck in a pose, leaned over the table with pencil in hand, but her grip has loosened and the pencil has slidden out of her hand, clattered onto the table. Instead, you see nothing but black in her eyes as tiny little black veins once again begin to eke out of her eyelids and across the sides of her eyes. Dakota did do something once to pull her out of this, and it worked. The question is, does she do it now?
What did I do?
You shot her. Or maybe
No,
Zach did
that
Zach
was
shot
Zach.
me.
Zach shot
Dakota
her,
has
sorry.
never witnessed this at this level.
No.
Oh, nobody has seen this yet.
You do
This
know
is
that Zach
new.
shot me to get me out of it, so you know if it gets bad.
Okay,
Just
Dakota's gonna
torture me.
treat this like a choking victim, right? Until I don't hear her like I'm gonna give it a few seconds. I need to make sure she's not gonna snap herself out before I take drastic measure. So Dakota kind of watches.
Okay, give me 1 second. I'm checking something. One moment.
Yeah, sure. Well, here, everybody, just listen to Moonlight Sonata and go to sleep well tonight. Good luck.
Oh God. Here we are again.
How does this keep happening to us? How does
It's because I'm
how does
as
this
long as
happen
I'm
to us?
alive.
Y'all, anybody that y'all, chat, I'm really sorry. I'm sure you showed up and you're, oh, it's going to be another girls episode. They're going to blow something up. You best believe it.
No.
Bella's big secret's what we're blowing up tonight, baby.
Yeah, all right, I had to check a couple things. We're good now. Yeah, no, it's great. I love it. It's been just bangers every time. So as the lights begin to flicker, the veins crawl across her, and you realize that Ava is stuck in a certain position. Does Dakota do anything in reaction?
Is she, she's not in a chair. She's not like gonna fall or anything because I would catch her.
No, she looks like she's still, while if she was completely limp, she should certainly fall and even maybe whack her head. She seems to be supporting herself. Even if her grip has loosened, she hunches and holds herself in that hunched position with her lips slightly agape and her eyes a deep black.
Ava.
You walk over, or
Yeah, I poke her a little bit. You know,
Sure.
like, Ava.
can I get a wits awareness, please, from you?
Yeah,
Shadowy, shadow.
yeah, this is
shadow.
not something Dakota's ever had to deal with. Okay. This seems like it's important, so can I rouse? I hope I don't get how.
Yeah, you can rouse.
This is gonna get very risky, everybody. Okay, whew.
Oh, it's very whiskey. Come here.
Very whiskey.
Come
Wits
Good boy.
is what we said. I'll add 2 to that pool. A 4?
Wow, nice roll.
It's pretty good.
Okay.
It's hard to tell at first. You do have well, not really. You know, that wouldn't help here. It's hard to notice at first as the lights flicker and the darkness encompasses the bedroom, or the living room rather, my apologies, of this lavish luxury apartment. But soon you see a dark shadow that is darker than the pitchest black in this room slowly begin to eat its way out of Ava's feet. crawling across the floor slowly, reaching the corners of the rooms, and as they get close to lights, the lights themselves shatter. And just before the very last light seems to go out, you watch Ava's physical being sink like water.
Like she turns into goo?
Like, not turns into, like, sinking slowly into a viscous liquid.
Oh. Are you serious?
But
like,
you don't
for
get time
real?
to try and
Oh
stop
my
her.
gosh.
You simply hear a voice in the room. Hello, Dakota Rain. Red eyes pierce through the darkness. And we cut. Ava, you've had visions before. The sights of a city. A gaping hole sat in the center. An eerie moon hung in the sky. But this is different. You're not in a familiar city. You are surrounded by older buildings, much older than yourself or any member of your coterie. You're not even entirely sure you're even in Chicago. You cannot place yourself, but it still carries similar features. Abandoned streets, empty, decayed buildings, a blood-red sky that is void of a moon. And next to you, just out of your peripheral vision, a flash of a green jacket. You're not sure, and when you turn to look, Saito. You don't remember the last time you saw Ava. You know it was familiar like this. It was certainly in this in-between. And you think, you told her of your theories, you think, but maybe that was a dream. It's hard to know. And yet here she is again. And were you being tortured? Was the pain real? How long ago was that? Is that a dream as well? You're not sure what's happening at the moment. Does Ava say something first, or does Saito?
Think Ava would. She sees him and she just says his name. Saito.
Ava. I was in a sea of souls.
I told you I'd be back.
I'm glad to see you. But where are we?
I don't know. I've never seen this before.
Are you safe?
Really. I told you what happened. She's part of me now, so I don't know how safe I really am.
You should be protected from her. I connected us.
Yeah.
After Ava says, yeah, you hear, you certainly did.
Fuck. Oh, fuck.
As you turn behind you from where the voice seems to emanate, a tall, silhouetted figure encompassed and comprised of mere darkness sits about 10 feet before you. You can barely make out what might be the eyes, but her silhouette is a tall, long, ragged hair. And in a hand, it looks like she carries a scythe. Not like the long ones, but sickle, I think actually is the word, the single-handed one.
Yep.
When the voice emanates, no lips move. The figure doesn't gesture as though it were human. And you can trace its feet in a long drawn shadow to yours, Ava. You caused a problem, a kink in the plan that cannot be unresolved. It is good to see you still stick around, Saito.
I held up my promise. She knows.
But I never made any promises to you. And I am
do
here
not
for
need
her
you
sake.
to. You are useful as a number, nothing more. Why are you here?
Saito just looks at Ava.
Why are we in this place?
You don't know either why we're here.
A vague sense of familiarity. But that could be any number of things.
I was trying to learn more about somebody.
Nosy little girl always gets you into such trouble.
What can I say? It's what I do best. I need to know, Sybil, why Bella, she's out of the picture now. And she never, neither of you ever explained why.
She makes a very subtle gesture. It's hard to tell what limb is moving amongst the twisting shadows. But it is clearly a gesture towards Saito.
A kink in the works. His
So-
disconnect from myself to you caused a change of plans.
And instead, I have to be the bearer of this shadow.
You had the choice. You
And
accepted.
I did. It still doesn't make sense.
What doesn't make sense, my dear?
Saito broke the connection we had. Why then? Then I should have been out of the picture completely. But then Bella became a problem, but you no longer felt need for her, and instead offered it to me.
You Toreador oh so similar. Manipulative based on what you care about. The truth is simple. Bella's sights got turned inward, no longer caring for the greater good, but her own cares and desires.
Yes.
She became a problem. Doesn't mean she's not useful still. And now, it seems you follow in her footsteps. And Saito is a similar problem. I can't eradicate his soul. Can't remove him entirely. Do you understand that?
Isn't what you've done to him enough?
You are going to take a seat of power so strong when all of this is done that the greater country that you reside in will fall to your knee. There will be only one rule, and you will sit there, and I by your side. And with the veil between death and life gone, Saito can return. I do not destroy him because he loves you. And at the end, it is the faithful ones that are rewarded. Lest you forget the tale of Otai. He will stand by you. He could be your chantry leader, or he could leave with you. I will not stop you. But there will be no veil that keeps you apart anymore. And you may walk the world as you see fit, without fear of sunlight or destruction. You will be free, finally.
Ava.
There's a look on Ava's face for a moment as she ponders this. of what that could actually look like.
Don't get me wrong, power has always been attractive to me. But, and he faces Sybil. Are you so desperate that you would threaten a dead man? I have nothing.
You have her heart. And I need her, not you. You are as the sickle in my hand, an instrument to something greater, control and peace, without the influence of the one who created such an injustice. So no, Suichi Saito, once member of Clan Tremere, I am not desperate enough to care enough for you. But Ava's potential is still bubbling under the surface even when you've tried to blunt it. And in the end, did she not accept my gift willingly? The shadow attached to her, taken by her own hand. You made things slightly more difficult for us, but not impossible. And you, as much as you are a worthless, measly mouse, will live the life of a king beside your queen. You are everyone's queen.
I already do.
Do you?
I have had as much of Ava's love as I could ever hope for.
So do you
Ava,
wish to be
don't listen
eradicated
to
and
her.
removed?
If I can eke out another second, then I will. Ava, this is up to you.
Bella had a similar offer. Then she decided to get a little selfish. The offer is yours.
Who was it that she loved?
An interesting question. Ah, that's why we're here. That's why this place is so familiar. I've seen it in her thoughts. This is where she made her decision. I'm surprised you don't know. You're such a smart woman. Pieced it together by now.
Well, we have a way of seeing the truth in flawed angles.
Truth
So-
is what you will it to be. Reality is flexible. This is where Bella lost her love. On this night in that corner store.
She gestures to down the street as best she can with whatever tendrils she has. And on the corner of a street, you see a man reading a newspaper. He has a little mustache and he's wearing a suit, as many people did in the early 1900s, late 1800s. As now you look around, you can see the lanterns. And he's thumbing through the day's news, but you cannot read the text. It is too blurry. It moves like it itself is made out of water. And then things flicker and he disappears.
In this night, everything that man owned disappeared. On this night, Bella was to take him for herself. She had made a decision to embrace him. But she was too late. You see, he was a man who was very good at what he did. Moved money for the richest folk. Passed along secrets to government officials without even having suspicion raised. He had fingers in everything. Ambitious. And an excellent Nosferatu.
I knew a snitch.
And then things flicker a little bit, and standing on a corner is a familiar Nosferatu snitch.
Oh,
She never arrived to him that night. It would be many years before she would go anywhere near him again. When I promised her I could change things, and I can, that's when things started moving. She has strange taste in men. Perhaps I have a strange taste in Toreador. She lost everything, at least in her mind. She had grandiose visions of a fantastical life that she will never have. But then she found Dakota, and things felt good for a while for her. And then she got scared, nervous that she would get hurt. She tried to move against me as though I wouldn't see it. And now I am attached to somebody who I cannot see, but I have trust in.
She lets that linger. Do you say anything?
I just,
Saito as well. He's welcome to speak.
I take the words she said, and I don't really acknowledge her. But I do look to Saito, and Saito, I will make the right choice for us.
Do you wish him to be by your side at the end?
Yes.
If he was not part of the equation, would you still be willing to help? Taking a seat of power and ruling over a city as you should?
Maybe.
I'll keep that in mind. I'm not one to trust you so easily again. I am no fool.
Of course not.
Your gift of prophecy. You had it when you were alive, didn't you?
I did.
You understand why I chose you then.
Does make sense in some strange way.
It looks like you're in luck today, Soichi Saito. There may be another night for you yet, and the pleasures of the physical world could return to you.
I don't hold out promises from you, but
Have
I do from
ever-
Ava.
Miss Eloise, have I ever gone back on a promise?
You haven't.
I intend to keep my word. That night where you accepted the shadow, you were offered to walk through that door and go about your own life. You chose not to. You are here, Saito, because she continues to be a willing, helpful kindred. If you have to be the carrot I shove on her stick, so be it. But I prefer Ava, understanding the benefits of these decisions on her own without your interference.
This is why you let me keep seeing him.
It is. His life is in the palms of my metaphorical hands.
I was a scientist before I was a blood mage, so I know a thing or two about the natural order. Just be warned that I am willing to see oblivion for the rest of my days, just for a chance to make sure you never hurt Ava. My soul means so much less to me now than it did when I was alive, so
That lesson has been learned, I promise.
Good.
I underestimated your selflessness when it comes to one particular kindred. Let love not be the thing that destroys you then, Ava. There can be no love if you are not alive.
Ava, I appreciate the sentiment, but as we discussed, please, the right decision.
Ava has made the right decision. Be gone, psycho.
I banished you before, and I will do it again.
And she does.
As those words fall from her, Saito in an instant is gone, leaving Ava and Sybil for a brief moment. Is there anything Ava would like to say?
Just a thank you.
As you're about to say thank you, we'll cut to Dakota in an entirely dark room.
Boy.
Dakota Rain.
Yes.
You are fascinating. Understand? I do not know who you are, where you came from, or who your sire is, and yet you reside in my city and cause me problems, whispering into the ear of Ava. The only reason you still live is because if you were to die, Ava would become useless. Vengeance would be her only drive. And so I'm going to make you a promise.
Here it comes.
When all is said and done, you will be set free. All of the country will be yours to roam day or night. And Gangrel will hold a position of power amongst what is now known as the country's national parks, as we root the lupine out from their homes and place the worthy child of Gangrel amongst them. You will hold equal footing, and your forests and lands will be treated as Camarilla City. There will be peace among all kindred.
So have you seen this movie, The Empire Strikes Back?
Speak plainly, I do not have time for your foolish, childish comparisons.
Oh, but this is our first time speaking one-on-one. Why are you rushing things?
Because I am dealing with Ava simultaneously.
Oh, I'm sorry. It must be a real strain. I deal with her daily.
Would you like me to end that for you?
I don't need you to do anything for me. Because here's the thing. I'm not interested in your peaceful empire. You see, you think my real interest lies in providing the Gangrel a home. But what you miss is the journey in which I walked to get there.
A
And it is
fascinating
you,
journey it has been.
Sybil, that has given me great purpose. It is because of you that I am where I am. So you don't have to give me anything else.
You remind me of my sire. You do know that?
Oh, here we go.
It is not a lecture. I am not here to lecture you. It is just a fascinating comparison. I failed to see him arrive. My vision clouded for one reason or another, and due to his actions, I was embraced. My visions were clouded. I could not see you coming either. But I'm watching you now, Miss Dakota Rain. You
Good.
know that.
I'd like to teach you a thing or two about vengeance.
You've taught me so much already.
Good.
The more I learn, the more I am confident you will do what need be done.
In the
You've done it
end,
before.
always.
You are.
And as she goes to speak, all of a sudden her eyes vanish. The shadows themselves begin to crawl back. Lights that shattered are flickering and then failing. And with a deep breath, as the shadow retracts entirely, Ava returns.
I thought I was going to have to stake you early.
Hang on a second. Josh, you can go now. I love you.
We adore you.
Me too.
Bye.
Thanks,
Thank
Josh. Bye.
And the Saito bar serves its purpose.
Oh
Yeah.
boy, in more ways than we possibly planned for. I gotta redo my Dakota cam here, everybody. Hold tight. All right, we're in it to win it now. Yeah, Dakota is like, you know how like when a cat gets spooked and all their hair stands on end? It's kind of like that.
Do either of you have Sense the Beast? No. Dakota might.
Like, but you know, like where she was sitting calmly and drinking tea, now there's like her claws have like clearly raked the edge of your brand new chair. You know, and like some shit went down and Dakota knows it, and I know it.
Ava just looks around the room for a second to regather herself and reground herself, and
So
just looks at you, Dakota, and just says, "Fuck, Dakota.
What did you do? What did you do? All we were supposed to do was figure out. What did you do?
I tried to get a little deeper, and you know what? I got the fucking answer.
Who is it?
It's Snitch."
I knew it. I knew it.
But Dakota, this is serious, okay? I went to
Well, yeah, you
place-
guys just went through some crazy shit.
I fucking talked to Sybil for like the longest I've ever talked to her.
Me too. She showed her ugly mug.
You talked to her?
Yeah, you turned on
How?
Jello. Your
What?
body went like, and she just like appeared. The whole room got dark. You don't even have a light bulb left.
Well, this is happening now. She can just talk to people through me.
No,
whenever she wants.
This
She did this before.
This happens when you dip into your little pool of specialty Toreador cuteness, and it always
critical
and because you're connected to her, I'm sure it's a little bit more powerful. So it's not like the average dose of Toreador magic. You know what I'm saying?
What did she say to you?
Oh, I don't know. She was all flexing about, like, you know, watching me and, like, I'm on her radar now, which is exactly what I've been trying to do for, like, years?
Okay.
So it worked, which is super cool. So now I got to figure out what to do with that. But it's cool.
Dakota, I know we know that this is really dangerous, what we're doing and what I'm doing specifically. But this is real bad. Like, I don't know. I don't know if we could stop her.
You didn't know that before?
I didn't know, but I believed that we can stop her. I believed it. And honestly, there are some moments like this where I wonder if we can or can't. Sometimes I just don't fully believe we can.
I have no doubt we can stop her. The question is, how much are we willing to sacrifice?
Saito sacrificed everything. I saw him again.
Precisely. And he has been the only person thus far who has managed to be able to stop her.
I think Ava has a muscle memory now to just like slip it in quietly as fast as she can when she's talking about it.
And then I get to
like,
the
there.
wait.
I saw him, by the way.
Saw Saito.
I saw him again, and I know why I keep seeing him now. The answer, it's kind of what you had predicted earlier, Dakota. As per usual, you're usually right. Sybil's using him as a carrot.
As leverage? God.
You You figured this shit out
I'm
the first
telling
time I saw him.
All of this shit is about unrequited fucking love and everybody needing something that somebody's not giving them. If everybody would just deal with their fucking trauma and leave everybody else alone.
Hey, the God's voice comes in and says, Sybil isn't doing it for love. She's just mad her life was taken from her.
Okay, vengeance in its whatever it is. If everybody's petty bullshit would stop manifesting in world-ending events, we could all get on with our fucking lives.
If only it were so easy.
Well, it's not gonna be, because you went and you had to fall in love, Ava.
Yeah. But I know she won't kill him permanently in that abyss because she knows I want him. And so she's going to keep him around.
Has that ever
And she
happened
thinks-
before? Like tonight? Like, have you turned
No.
to goo before?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
That's true, though. That's also a great answer. It could be when she dreams at night, she goose, you know,
Well,
like she gets
okay,
gooshy
I-
when she dreams the side.
Well, I will say, actually, never mind. There was one moment where the girl that I met, the La Sombra girl, when I tried to invoke the shadow, something weird happened where she heard voices. I don't think that
Yep.
was the same thing.
Not the same thing.
Okay.
Nope.
Okay.
So this is all new, which means whatever you tapped into was some serious fucking shit. So do me a favor, the same deal we've made before. Maybe don't do that anymore.
Or I can keep doing it and we get more answers.
So fucking true. God.
I found out about.
Yeah,
I
do you
was-
tell her the details of
was
like what
at-
the
yeah,
what the
I'm-
details had? Okay.
I was at the place where she fell in love with Snitch or
She-
lost her
she-
love.
Yeah, that was the night she planned on embracing him, and
somebody
when
got
she
there
went,
first.
and somebody got there first.
She was in love with. It's so weirdly
Stupid.
beautiful and
Yes.
poetic.
Oh my god, that was. Can we clip that? Ava and Dakota saying the exact right thing in character at the exact same time. It was beautiful and poetic.
Stupid. Move on, Bella. Move on.
She was ready to embrace the man she loved, and somebody else, a Nosferatu of all clans, got to him. And all this time she's loved Snitch, and we had no idea that she's loved him. And I saw that moment, and that was the moment Sybil told me this whole story. And
Okay. All right. I'm going to have a chittity chat with Snitch. That's never happened before, but you know what? I spoke to the sandwich tonight, so I'm feeling saucy about it. Until then,
yeah,
maybe don't reach out to your long-lost love in, I don't know, another plane of existence that is probably somewhat akin to, mundane versions of hell. So can we just stay here for a while?
sure.
Just until
Yeah,
I
I
can
say
watch
yes.
you, because you know what? Next time, I might have to scoop
I'm
you up in a
not.
jar. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not
Yeah.
saying it's not going to be the last time,
It's not going to be.
because I have an idea.
Your ideas. Actually, your ideas are usually pretty good.
Okay,
so
hear me out. We got new information tonight about both this dagger and this box. The last time I witnessed such an extravagant presence of Sybil was the night that Bella opened the box. Now, you know the old saying that you can't put Pandora back in? Well, honey, I don't believe that shit. I think if we understand how this box works, we can lure Sybil back out again. And when her shadow is vulnerable, we put that bitch back in her box.
Where do we put it? You kind of got cut out there.
Back in the box. Put it back in the box.
Put her back in the box. Put it back where she started.
Right.
Sybil
Yes.
in a box.
We put her back where she started. Yes.
Which I'm going to be
Not
honest
a-
probably means, I don't know what it means for you. But I sure hopefully know what it means for Sybil. So, I was thinking, let's use that plan of yours to, leverage your connection with her in this weird way sparingly. We don't want to let her on that we're trying to lure her out.
That's what I'm worried about, Dakota.
What?
She eventually caught on to Bella. Bella was scheming against her in one way or another, and she got rid of her, clearly. What if she finds out?
But all eyes are on me. She made it very clear. She's more worried about me right now than you.
This is true. For some reason, I mean,
So
I guess I haven't really helped
all
myself.
I gotta do is keep her gaze on me.
Okay.
And at just the right time. In just the right place. We're gonna put a sandwich in a box.
Okay. It could work.
I know.
It's a good idea.
It's kind of exciting, but you know what? I was hoping you could help me with something. Tomorrow, I need to kidnap a kid and put him in a freezer. And I need your voice for that.
She's humanity force, so no problem.
Sure. Which kid is it?
Oh, we could talk about that later. That's all semantics, really.
Okay.
And as like it's all semantics, and they both just sit down like uncomfortably, kind of like silence and taking it all in. The camera will very slowly and awkwardly kind of pan back. No music would play. It's dead silence until, as we reach the ceiling, we cut to black. And we'll be back next week with another session.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh God.
I thought this was gonna be like an hour and a half,
Nope.
man.
Ah, this shit. Yeah,
was
That
great.
went all
This is
over the
fantastic.
place. I gotta tell Ava about my grand plan. Oh my gosh. It is almost 8:00, everybody. It has almost been.
No.
Now we started a smidge late, but we still get.
Yeah.
I hope you appreciated the time we gave you. I feel like it was well worth it. Why don't we go around? Let's outro here, Mathis. You want to kick us off and pass it?
Yeah, start. You can find me pretty much Mathis anywhere. Look it up. But you're mostly going to find me doing this. We got the Pod by Night show. We're doing Crack Crown and stuff over there. And you'll find me doing Chilluminati podcast pretty much anywhere. If you just look up Chilluminati, you'll find me there. That's it for me. How do we go to Tracy?
Hi, everybody. I'm Tracy, Miss Match Tech. You can find me at MagiRPG, twitch.tv/MagiRPG. That's where me and my friends play tabletop games throughout the week. Tomorrow I'm not in it, but they're doing their final episode of Blades in the Dark, so you should totally go check that out. And we also play other cool tabletop games. We play D&D. We are also planning some other cool tabletop games for the future, maybe related to the World of Darkness, so you should totally go check it out. Yeah, that's where you can find me mostly, and that's me. What about you, Dot?
Hi, everybody. I used to think the worst thing in our life was Brett. I'm now thinking it's this episode. No, I'm just kidding. This was amazing. I needed this. I needed the laughs. I needed the drama, and my blood pressure's up. So you know what? It's kind of like taking a walk, right? You can find me everywhere online as Little Red Dot. I spend most of my time over at Cobalt Press. I'm the marketing director there, and the rest of my time is dedicated to this little thing we call Pod by Night. So check us out. Check me out in those places. And if you need a taste of just a home game, I'm over on Unmade Gaming's channel on Thursday nights in a One Ring campaign where you can see me play a very, very thirsty dwarf. That's about it, everybody. I don't even know what the hell to say. We'll see you next week if you return for the.
We got a crazy after show to go do right now, man.
Yeah.
Go to patreon.com/pod by night for those after shows.
Yep.
$5 gets you the audio. $10 gets you video. This is going to be a crazy one because we're going to talk about the 2 solos plus today's.
Yeah,
so.
it's going to be a lot. Okay, everybody, hold it in. We spilled some tea. We'll see you next week for more Pod by Night.
Bye.
Bye.
See you next
Bye.
Saturday.
Oh.